Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 149. Andrew Eisen here. Forgot my headphones, so you're going to get echoiness. I apologize for that. Along with E. Zachary and I. Hello, Zachary.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, everybody out there. I hope you guys enjoyed E3 so far. It's been a lot of interesting stuff this week. It's been your typical E3 without any major hardware news. It's like no hardware news at all from Sony or Nintendo, and then Microsoft just said we've got a new console coming out, and that was it. That was it.
Pretty much the same thing. There's been semi-official PS5 stuff from like last March.
Yeah,
but no Switch Pro and Switch Portable or any of that.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Nintendo to announce something to the effect of their new Switch models, but no, nothing.
All right, well, let's start with Microsoft because we already did EA, or at least we did the Star Wars thing with EA because we didn't be bothered to watch anything else from EA. Neither of us cared. Which I feel kind of bad about, but tis what it is. All right, so Microsoft, really the only thing I remember specifically from the conference is Phil Spencer has really odd posture, and it gets odder to me every year. Like he's leaning further and further back every year, and it just strikes me as odd. He's got an odd stance. Other than that, and Project Scarlet, they're like the only specific things I remember. So take us through what happened at Microsoft.
So okay, my notes are kind of vague, and I haven't expanded them at all by comparing them to actual recounts of what happened. But they opened up with a game called The Outer Worlds. I put down that it was a mix of sci-fi tropes and an FPS video game shell, and it's just some corporate dystopia game that. Literally, that's what it is. It's corporations have taken over the world, galaxy, universe, whatever, and you get to go in there and shoot people who support or defend the corporations,
or help them, then shoot them.
Yeah. So after that, Ninja Theories got its own Overwatch clone, just the Team Fortress, Overwatch, that kind of Overwatch is the Blizzard one, I think, called Bleeding Edge, and the characters are very cleverly designed. I like the way they look. The female characters all have unique body types, which is something that Blizzard had a little trouble with at the beginning with Overwatch. So each character is clearly unique. I like that. I'm probably never going to play it, but at least they actually took notes from people's complaints about other games in that genre. So I'm excited. I like that.
It's. I'm scrubbing through the trailer again, refreshing my memory, and they actually showed some gameplay, which was nice. But essentially, it's a character shooter, so they're focusing on the character designs, which I rather like.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I thought everything looked good. If I were interested in that genre, I would probably pick it up. But I'm just not a shooter guy at all. Whether it's third person, first person, or team based like this. I think the only real shooters that I really like are Metroid Prime and what was the other one? I had another one in my mind, and then I forgot it.
Remember, Metroid Prime is not a shooter; it's a first-person adventure.
Well, that was my point. Is that the only ones that I really like are ones that the shooting aspect of it is in conjunction with the primary platforming or puzzle solving or something. That's what Metroid Prime is. And the other one that I was thinking of, and I completely spaced it what it was the same concept, where shooting was in support of the greater genre or the more overall genre of it. But yeah, but that's all beside the point. The next thing that they had was that Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or whatever that's called. This is the third E3 that it's been in. Has the game come out at all? Maybe, yeah. But yeah,
every time I see it, I'm like, did that not come out at some point? Oh,
exactly.
There were actually several games where I was like, didn't that, like, later I saw Overwatch 2, or I'm sorry, Overcooked 2, but it ended up being DLC. And oh God, there were a couple games where I was like, didn't that come out at some point? Oh, Dragon Quest Builders 2 from that's
I was
like,
definitely.
Did that not come out at some point? I guess it did. So
yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm adjusting my browser windows here real quick, just so I can keep up with the chat and refer to my notes. Okay. Matthew says Ori's coming out February 2020. At least it's not March 2020.
March 2020 is going to be a busy damn month.
Yeah, it is.
It amazed me how many late Q1, early Q2 2020 titles were. Like every conference had at least one. Nintendo, I think, had 3.
Yeah.
Which is kind of not like Nintendo to have that many games that are not coming out this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was just my thought was it's like Ori hasn't come out yet. It still looks good. I want to play it, but yeah, I'm Ori? Just Ori. Yeah, but
yeah, the one with the sad owl.
Yeah. All right. The next game was Minecraft Dungeons, which is your basic 4-player dungeon crawler, like Diablo style clone. Looks fun. I'm gonna get it just because my family we like Minecraft and it just looks like it'll be a fun. It looks like it's going to play a
My family likes Minecraft and it looks fun. That sounds like a great reason to get it.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's going to play a lot like the Lego games, because based on what I saw from the trailer is that you can destroy things in the environment and get stuff from it. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's see here.
Some stupid Diablo 3-esque auction thing. And completely
hopefully not, but it's going to be a local co-op and online co-op, so a pretty darn good thing.
Can you play online with your friends?
Well, it's Microsoft. Yes, you can. Okay, so let's see.
Take that shade, Nintendo. You take it.
So next we have, I don't know exactly what this was in reference to, but Phil Spencer came out and was chatting up the Xbox Online service, I guess. And that's what it was. He was talking about how games are for everyone. And so I was just like, well, is Microsoft going to be doing more to deal with the harassment in online play then? Because, if people get harassed, then the game's not really for them if they can't do anything about the harassment. But that was just something that, that I noted in there. But then he comes out with this really bold statement. And I think he actually was truthful in this, because I was just, my first thought was, is this really going to be true, Phil? But he said that's the largest collection of games that being presented at E3, over 60 games. So yeah, I think he pulled it off. I think no other company had that big of a showing. Not all the games got an individual moment, but yeah, there was a big sizzle reel in the middle. But yeah, so let's see. Next was Jedi Fallen Order, which we already talked about.
That trailer actually did better service to the game than the presentation at EA.
Oh yeah, they showed a lot more cool stuff. I liked the AT-ATs that were covered in vines and stuff. That was that was just really neat, and I thought that was really cool. And I still want that little droid.
I'm given pause when the trailer makes the game look good, but the gameplay doesn't.
Yeah, well, trailers are meant to lie to you, so
yeah,
so there's
we'll have
that.
to see with that one. But I was interested to see that. I'm like, oh, that actually looks a lot better.
Yeah. And next was a new survival horror game. When I was watching this, I thought, oh, we're actually going to be getting another Silent Hill game, because it had a very Silent Hill vibe. But then it got to the end, and it was announced that it was a Blair Witch game. And I was just like, the Blair Witch?
That evergreen property that's still super popular after very successful sequels.
Yeah, I just thought I was just taken aback. I was just like, the Blair Witch?
Someone
really?
found the IP in a Walmart discount bin.
That's
like, oh,
what it feels like.
IP for $5, we can make a game out of this.
Oh yeah, Matthew, another Alan Wake game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another good point, because they made multiple references to the camera the guy was holding, and so yeah, Alan Wake would have fit into that. But my thought was Silent Hill, because I'm not as familiar with the Alan Wake franchise. But yeah, the Blair Witch, I was just not expecting that to pop up in there. And then we had Cyberpunk. They had a trailer for Cyberpunk and a bunch of some actual. Did they have gameplay? I'm trying to remember. No, it was all cinematic. Yeah,
all cinematic.
Yeah. And then Keanu Reeves is starring in this. I was not expecting that, and then he actually showed up.
Exactly how large his role in the game is. If he's just a side character who does a mission at one point, or if he's like a really big presence throughout the game.
I don't know. If they're paying for a celebrity likeness and voice, he's a major character in the game.
I would so
there's no reason why they wouldn't use him to full effect if they're going to pay the $10 million or whatever that he charges for his presence.
CD Projekt Red is like next to a dentist office, and Keanu Reeves was getting a cleaning and sat in the wrong waiting room. Like, oh, Keanu Reeves is like in our waiting room. Let's get him for a game real quick while he's waiting. That's my headcanon for how he the game.
But then he came out on stage and had that what is it? Now I forget the quote. Somebody yelled out to him.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
Something along those lines. And Keanu Reeves, he is
breathtaking.
He's you're breathtaking. Yeah, that's right. Because he was talking about how Cyberpunk looked breathtaking, and some audience member says, "You're breathtaking," and he says back to him, "Yeah, that was great. I love Keanu Reeves. Yep. He is a very charismatic guy, a great actor, and I thought he was it was amazing to see him on stage. He was the first celebrity appearance, and not the last, of course. But we'll get to other celebrity appearances later.
And Cyberpunk is one of a long line of games at E3 this year that's coming out in March or April of next year. I think it's April something of the.
Yeah.
So got another year yet, folks.
Yeah,
maybe
if it doesn't get delayed.
I almost get the sense that they just decided to put Keanu Reeves in the game, so it's going to be another 3 years.
Yeah. Jordan says, just imagine if he's the villain. That's I wouldn't complain if they did pick him, cast him as the villain. Yeah, he can pull it off.
And he's great. April 16th, 2020.
Yeah. So, so Keanu Reeves for Cyberpunk, that was awesome. Let's see here. But he did not end his presentation with "be excellent to each other." I was very sad.
Yeah. He didn't say "whoa" once.
Just something, party on, something. Come on.
Do the thing, Keanu. Dance for us, little monkey. Dance.
Yeah. No, he isn't the bad guy. He's playing a major role, lore person from the tabletop game. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Mr. Silverfist or something like that.
Yeah.
No, seriously, the name is something that refers to his metal hand. It's something like Mr. Silver Fist.
Okay, well that works.
Remember the Fisto from the He-Man?
Yeah, from He-Man, Fisto. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So next up was Spiritfarer. This is a it looked like an indie game, but we didn't get a lot. I didn't get a good understanding of how the game played or anything, but I know it looked good.
I don't even see it in the recap I'm looking at. Oh yeah, okay.
Johnny Silverhand is Keanu Reeves' character, according to Matthew.
Silverhand. Okay, there you are.
But Spiritfarer, I thought looked nice. So she's on, this character's on a boat and you fare spirits, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. And then next up, I about had a heart attack when the music started playing because it was Battletoads.
Oh yeah, I'm like, that's the pause screen menu from the pause screen in Battletoads. Boy, they really rejiggered the art style.
Oh yeah, they went full blown cartoon with this thing, and I think that's great. As much as I thought I liked the look of Battletoads in what fighting game were they in? I forget now.
Battletoads and Double Dragon.
No, in an actual
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Okay, yeah. It's as much as I like their look in Killer Instinct. I was just like,
okay.
Yeah, I did not want them to go that route with a new Battletoads game, and so I was very happy to see that they went cartoon with it because honestly, that's what it should be.
Drawn, but that was not an art style I was expecting, and I don't know. I think I need to see more of it, less choppily edited. Yeah. I don't have a problem with it, but I just kind of want to see more of it, see how it flows.
Yeah, but I thought it looked good. But yeah, it's if they don't keep the insane difficulty, then I will be very disappointed because that's the whole point of playing it.
And it comes out in 2020 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Everything did. And then
probably 2020. There's no release date. It's probably not this year.
Yeah. And then next was The Legend of Wright, the pencil sketch RPG that.
I no idea how that exactly plays, but I have to admit that the conceit of the game is being played on a child's notebook and stickers
desk,
is really appealing. That could be just an annoying mess. That it could just be the most obnoxious, cumbersome UI ever, or it could be integrated in a way that makes it just a ton of fun. Hopefully the latter.
Hopefully the latter. Yeah.
Look, I really like what I think they're going for there.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool looking thing, and it kind of gives me vibes of
better name though.
Yeah, maybe.
It's kind of crap.
But oh well. And then I just wrote down it's trailer montage time, so I didn't have any specific things that I picked out of the montage. But yeah, did you watch the trailer montage?
I did, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Was it the ID at Xbox trailer?
Probably.
Montage?
Yeah.
Let me scrub through real quick and see if I can.
Yeah, it was probably the ID at Xbox thing.
We got a person on a mammoth. We've got everything's like 10 frames. That's Killer something black. There's that drinking game when you're in the underworld. After Party, I think it's called, something like that. Yeah, I can't even scrub through it because it's only about 15 frames per game.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. That's where the vast majority of Microsoft's 60 games came from. Was that? So yeah. And then next thing they talked up Xbox Game Pass and how it's coming to PC and yeah, so there's that. I guess if you want a video game subscription service from Microsoft. You can subscribe to that and get. I think the pricing was like $9.99 for either on the Xbox or for PC, or $15 for it to work with both the Xbox and the PC. So,
what I think I must have misheard the person talking about the ID this, because they're like, okay, we have Xbox Game Pass on the Xbox, but now it's coming to, and it's Xbox Game Pass is $10, but now it's coming to PC, and you could get it there, or you could have the Ultimate Games Pass, which is the Games Pass. The Ultimate Games Pass is like $15, and it's the Xbox Game Pass plus the PC Game Pass. And she says, for no extra charge. I'm like, that's $5 extra. What are you talking about? It's more expensive. That is an extra charge. I must have misheard that.
I think, you might have, but yeah, I believe it's.
But I do remember that was my reaction. I was like, but it's more expensive.
Yeah. Matthew says currently $1 for the first month, $5 while it's still in beta. $15 also includes Gold, Microsoft Gold.
Oh, because the Game Pass and Microsoft Gold, like PS Plus, is different things. So that's probably what she was talking about.
Okay, yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay, so $15 for Gold plus both platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we had another trailer.
I figured I had heard that wrong, but I was like looking at the little graphic behind her. I'm like, but that's a bigger number.
Yeah, and then they had another trailer montage for the PC, or for the Game Pass PC. So yeah, I think most of the games were games that were already that are already out.
So. Star Renegades, The Good Life, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, Creature in the Well, Killer Queen Black, River, Bond, Unto the End, Blazing Chrome, Felix the Reaper, I like that name, Undermine, Supermarket Shriek, Secret Neighbor, Eichenfell, Lord of the Rings, The Living Card Game, Totem Teller, Crosscode, and whoever wrote this article, probably at least a couple buried in there that I missed.
Probably, yeah. All right, so, and then next up was an actual new Microsoft Flight Simulator game. I've never played one, but I know that a lot of people.
Boring.
Well, it's a flight simulator. It's not a game.
Like, okay, but what do you do? Do you just
fly a realistic game or realistic airplanes? Is what the whole point of it is. Well, it's like It's like Euro Truck Simulator or Train Simulator.
Yeah, the one that gets me is the train, because the train is on a track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Matthew says it uses satellite data, so you're actually going to be able to fly around real landscapes and all of that.
Google Maps, so you can flight simulate your flight across actual place. Oh, that sounds so boring to me, but
there is a huge market for it.
Like that bus game.
Yeah, Desert Bus.
Desert Bus. Thank you.
Yeah. But there's a huge market for these things. Yeah,
absolutely nothing against you, but I look at that and I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not my thing either. But I know there's a market for it, and I know a lot of people have been clamoring for a new flight simulator because apparently Microsoft had one of the best ones out there for years. And so, yeah, hopefully it turns out great, and the people who like the previous ones really like this one, because they had all kinds of planes in there. They had everything from jumbo passenger jets down to single prop planes. So
yeah, I mean, it must. I mean, I'm looking at the trailer right now, and it's 1:44 that they dedicated to that. So that's got an audience somewhere.
Yeah.
Not here, but but somewhere.
Yeah. And then we had an expansion or a sequel or something for Age of Empires 2. So there's that.
Wait, was it an expand, or was it a remaster with HD?
Maybe a remaster. Something along those lines. I know it's Age of Empires 2, and then it has some subtitle.
So remastered audio, 4K graphics. Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay. Did we learn nothing from the Flight of the Navigator movie? See, now Alien Spaceship Simulator would be totally awesome, or UFO Simulator. I would play that. And then next up was Wasteland 3's, and I really enjoyed that trailer. It was done in a travel commercial, like travel to lovely Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that trailer. It was probably the highlight of the entire E3, or well, at least Microsoft E3, I thought. But and next up was the news that Microsoft now owns Double Fine and is the publisher for Psychonauts 2. And we got a trailer for that.
I like to tell myself that the people cheering for a giant corporation buying and owning and controlling these quirky little development studios that pump out games that we love, it's not them cheering that, it's them cheering that it's not EA. That's what I tell myself to help myself sleep at night.
Yeah, and and I think Microsoft has been doing fairly well of late with its acquisitions, its game development acquisitions, because it's it's actually letting them make games that they want.
Well,
at least that's what it feels like.
Not like Halo 6 or whatever. It's their Bleeding Edge or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Is that the right one?
Ninja Theory?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And then we're getting a Lego Star Wars game that is all 9 movies. So that's going to be interesting.
Which is kind of funny because over on my shelf over here, I have Lego Star Wars, the first 3 movies, Lego Star Wars, the original movies, plus which was actually included the first 6 movies, and then Lego Star Wars Force Awakens and Lego Star Wars Clone Wars. So I don't know if I need Lego Star Wars episodes 1 through 9. However, apparently they're just we're doing the movies again, but we're going to do the scenes that we didn't do in any of the previous 4 or 5 Star Wars Lego games.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to buy all the Lego games. I don't anymore, Traveler Tales. You know why? Because you don't sell the entire game anymore. You break it up in little DLC packs. And sometimes you release a gold edition or definitive edition with all the crap in it. And most of the time you don't. So, yeah, I think the last Lego game I bought was like Jurassic World, maybe. So it's been several years.
I've got a few Lego games. I have Lego Batman 1 and 2. I have Star Wars, a couple of Star Wars ones. I know I have both sets basically, and then I have the Indiana Jones one that is that has Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in it. I don't know.
Yeah. There were 2 Indiana Jones games. The first one was like just the 3 movies, and then Crystal Skull came out, and it was Crystal Skull plus the first 3 movies again.
Yeah. So let's. Can't remember if I have the Marvel. No, I don't think I have the Marvel superhero ones, and I don't think I have any of the Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings ones.
Yeah, Harry Potter was.
No, I might have Lord of the Rings.
Years 1 through 4 and years 5 through 7, if I remember.
Yeah, I think I might have Lord of the Rings, but I can't remember. But I just kind of pick them up as I find them. I don't know I'm looking for
Lego
them.
City Undercover, I think is what Lego City Undercover, I think, is probably the best one, and that was the original one. Although I do like a lot of the Lego games. I like all of them. I thought they were very cute and they're just fun.
Yeah.
They all have exactly the same problems, mostly in just, weird floaty controls. But
so they use the same engine and they don't update it. Is basically the thing. So, all right. But moving on was a new Dragon Ball Z game. I don't remember at all what this thing's about. All I remember it has Frieza. Yeah, it has Frieza in it, and yeah, that's all I remember.
Boy, the Japanese voice acting sucks. Is that from the cartoon? Because all I've ever heard is the English.
I don't know. I don't know if they're using the anime's voice actors.
Well, I mean, okay, it doesn't suck. They just use extraordinarily cartoony voices in the Japanese dialogue, and I'm like, it really, story and cutscene and characters talking to each other is that really what the Dragon Ball gamers were crying for? It's like, I like my awesome Dragon Ball games, but maybe you could put more of the talking into it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any actual gameplay in that trailer or not. It's just people yelling at each other.
Yeah. I don't know. But let's see. Next on my notes was 12 Minutes. It's a murder mystery Groundhog Day style game.
I like the premise. I'm curious to know exactly how it plays, though. I mean, effective trailer communicates the premise, which is interesting, but it doesn't communicate how the game plays.
Yeah, it's just probably just going to be a series of choices, and depending on what you do, and I guess the protagonist is going to retain his memory, so your choices are going to change every loop. But yeah.
What if you just accidentally did it right the first time? I wonder if you can.
You probably can't.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get like my problem with the Stanley Parable is when I just walked. I played the game for 5 minutes, beat it, and had no desire to ever play it again. Even though the point is to play it and go through other paths, I had no desire to because the game didn't incentivize that.
Oh, Addicted to Chaos says the voice acting in Dragon Ball Z is the Japanese anime voice actors.
Okay, well, that's good, but it also tells me that Dragon Ball Z is even worse than I had realized. I didn't know it could possibly be any worse.
All right. Let's see. I didn't write down the name for this next one, but all I remember was there was a deer pushing one of those hand carts on a train, and I was completely lost after that. It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but it looked nice. But I was just like, why is a deer pushing a train a railroad hand cart? It didn't make any sense to me. But yeah.
Oh, did we mention that Microsoft Dungeons is another spring 2020 title?
Minecraft Dungeons, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we can play the Blair Witch on August 30th, thank God.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have been able to do if I couldn't do that.
Yep, no idea what the deer minecart thing is.
Yeah. So after that, we're getting a new Gears game, and here, new Gears of War game. The trailer was just that was an absolutely terrible, terrible trailer.
I mean, I get it. This is like the 5th Gears of War game.
Yeah.
So we all know what Gears of War is, but I mean, even for longtime fans, or even ones who are invested in whoever that particular character happens to be,
yeah,
like, oh no, Sally, she's going through some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel for Sally, but let's see some of the game. Yeah.
I mean, and then come on. But it's coming out on my birthday, which is sad because it's like A Way of the Woods is the deer game. Okay. And then the guy who was but they were presenting as the presenter for Gears of War comes out, he mentioned something about turning it up to 11, and I'm just like, oh, seriously? Well, that's one of the lamest things you could ever say. But yeah,
it's like, you guys realize that was a joke, right? In Spinal Tap, like they were saying that because it's stupid. And it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. That's why it's funny. Did you not watch the movie? Have you never seen Spinal Tap? That you weren't supposed to be like, you know what? They've got this right. No, you completely are not getting it.
Yeah. And then they revealed that Terminators are going to be in the new Gears game for some reason.
And they didn't show anything really. They just showed a T800 series endoskeleton holding the chainsaw gun.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks.
And then immediately following that, they had their porno video shoot of the new Elite controller. And it was just like, sexy camera angles, revealing teardowns, and yeah, I was just like, okay, a new Elite controller coming. I get the idea.
I imagine there are R&D folks who are just like super proud of this thing, and you know what? Give them their due.
Yeah. Well, and
my golly.
And from what I've read, they've solved all they seem to have solved most of the problems of the original Elite controller, and have improved on areas that it could be improved on. So, but it's an expensive controller, and I don't really need it.
40-hour battery, Bluetooth, charging dock, probably costs $100.
Oh yeah, it's a very pricey controller. But yeah, and then we had another zombie shooter, Dying Light 2.
Where, if I'm getting it, again, no gameplay, you saw them running around, so that's probably gameplay. But I think the idea is you are infected, so you have no friends in this one. I think
that's what it seemed like. There was something in there about I'm already infected or something. So
wait.
$180 for the Elite controller. Seriously, that's like more than half the price of the freaking Xbox 3 or Xbox One.
No, thank you.
You gotta be kidding me. I could buy 4 freaking Xbox One controllers for that much.
Chris Avalon's writing Dying Light 2. How about that? He's one of the guy wrote was he Wasteland? Is that what he's from?
I don't remember.
Landscape Torment or some of those old games.
Yeah. And then they finally revealed the car on stage, but the car was mostly made out of Lego, and I was very surprised by that.
And I was thinking, why do they have cars on the stage? I'm like, okay, this I approve of.
Yeah, well, it's like, but Microsoft has always had a car on stage, as far as I can remember, because they do the Forza Horizon games, and for some reason, putting a car on stage is how they promote it. And but then they revealed that they put the spotlight on it. I'm like, that doesn't look right. And then I realized that's made out of Lego. And then they showed their trailer, and they're bringing Lego to Forza Horizon. So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It was certainly unexpected.
It was very unexpected. I was reminded on Twitter that they've done Forza with Hot Wheels before as well. So it's a branded Elite. Is that not enough? No, it's not. And then immediately after the Forza Horizon thing, they reveal Funko Pop Gears of War,
which is a crappy mobile game.
Yeah,
not disparage mobile games, but it just looks like a crappy mobile game.
Yeah, I'm just like, my thought was, Gears of War is not the IP I picture when I think of Funko Pop, even though Funko Pop does everything literally. It's just it's not really the IP I pictured for a Funko Pop game.
No, but I think that juxtaposition is what makes it interesting.
Yeah,
but I don't think the game looks any good.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I had to check out, so I got to skip all of my Bethesda notes real quick to get back to Xbox. We're getting a Phantasy Star Online 2 again. I actually have, or a new one or whatever.
In spring 2020.
Yeah, I actually have Phantasy Star Online downstairs for the Xbox 360. I don't know if there's any playable content on it outside of the online stuff, so I haven't popped the disc in yet to try it out. I just picked it up at a yard sale or something with a bunch of other games. But And then we have Crossfire X, which I don't even remember at all.
Crossfire X is apparently like the biggest multiplayer game in the world with 600 million players, just not in this country. And because I looked it up after, because I'm like, I've never heard of it. She said something like 650 million players worldwide. I'm like, well, how come I've never heard of it? Because this is the first time it's coming to this country. So I was shocked, not shocked, but shocked, I say, that their reveal trailer gave you absolutely no inkling of what the game is or how it's played.
Oh yeah, and the audience was unsure of how to react to this. Yeah, for almost every game reveal before this, there was a serious applause and cheering for everything, but the applause was very muted for the Crossfire reveal. And
I think it's because no one in the audience knew what the hell it was.
Yeah, Matthew says it's big in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, but the only thing I could think of as when they announced it, I was just like, they're making a video game version of that, of the tabletop game.
Pin thing, yeah. Where you have little plastic things that you fill in with little metal ball bearings. You pull the trigger and you fire it a little spinny thing in the middle, and it had that.
Yeah, you have to knock it into.
You get caught up in the crossfire. Big 80s power ballad kind of song.
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, a lot of fun there, but yeah, nobody knew what to think of Crossfire X. And then we got a reveal trailer for Tales of Arise.
Guess when it's coming out? Come on, guess.
2020. Spring 2020.
Microsoft, we've got 160 games. 5 of them this year, but we've got 100 or whatever they're total.
Yeah.
Most of them are next spring, dude.
Yeah, and then we got Borderlands, which is one of the more interesting looking shooters. Like I like the aesthetic of that series, but again, shooters aren't for me. And then I did another note here. Okay, so earlier with Cyberpunk, they bleeped out every single swear word, and yeah, they did. And in Borderlands, they blackbarred one of the characters flipped the bird to the camera, and they blackbarred that middle finger. And my entire thought process here is, okay, it's all right to show people getting eviscerated in the trailers, like blood spatter, limbs being chopped off, people being blown up, but swear words and middle fingers are a line too far for this broadcast. Yeah. I don't get it. Later on, Bethesda and Ubisoft was the one that did it. Ubisoft, they didn't care. It's like every single swear word was out there for everybody to hear, and
Bethesda swears up and down all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have a family, I mean, it's something I speculated on my Nintendo reaction video. They did. We'll talk about this later, but they did that. They revealed the Resident Evil announcement mostly with a skit of 2 people in a spooky house playing Resident Evil in a spooky house and getting spooked because they're playing spooky game in spooky house. And I thought, why are they doing that? Why are they going to that expense and resources to shoot the trailer for Resident Evil ports? And my thought was, they wanted to make the announcement, but they didn't really want to show the gooey bits of Resident Evil on the Nintendo screen, so they thought up this wrapper segment to. That was my guess, but
I'm pretty sure that's exactly.
You've already got images of people being sawed in half. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the Cyberpunk trailer is fairly gruesome.
Yeah,
lots of bloody stabbies and bits, and it's like, oh no, but no middle fingers or F-bombs. I mean, okay, but seems kind of odd to me.
Yeah, but you gotta. This is a family event. We gotta protect the innocent little minds there. Yeah. And then next up is Elden Ring, which is totally not a ripoff of the Lord of the Rings and the One Ring, but it has a collaboration with George R.R. Martin.
Oh, so, yeah. We're sorry, Bamco. we're sorry your web security sucks. I'm
we knew that.
Excited for this collaboration that they, like many other games, gave absolutely no indication of what the game was or how it plays.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. It was literally like the entire thing. I was just like, okay, is this the One Ring from the Lord of the Rings? But no, that's something totally different. But yeah, we don't know what it is. But yeah, and but we're getting famous authors, as well as famous actors attached to our games nowadays. So we're a serious art form now. We have the money to throw around for big names.
Yeah.
It's no longer Tom Clancy's. Tom Clancy is no longer the only show in town. I'm telling you.
We're going to have Stephen King games. Didn't we already have a Stephen King game?
I don't know. I can't think of
one. No, we had a Steven Spielberg attached to Boom Blocks in the Wii.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
And Peter Jackson in the King Kong game, again, for, Wii and Xbox and
Man, these big names being attached to video games, it just completely, it makes you wonder exactly how much creative control George R.R. Martin has in this game. But he's most likely just there to write the overall theme and story rather than any major, any actual control over the final finished project.
I think Martin did it just to piss people off who are waiting for the last book in the Fire and Ice series.
Probably, yeah.
He's like, I'm going to write book 8 or 9 or whatever it is, but CD Projekt Red backed up a dump truck full of money to my house, so I'm going to write that game for a while.
Yeah. So after that, Project X Cloud, which I think is the dumbest name ever, at least one of the dumbest names ever. I don't remember anything about X Cloud, but it's just something to do with the cloud, and yeah. And then finally they revealed Project Scarlet. It's going to be a next gen console with bigger numbers and everything. Yeah. So, and literally, the trailer was just like, ooh, big numbers. From Software is doing the Elden Ring game, not CD Projekt Red. But
my favorite part was when in the reel where they're doing the glory passes of the hardware and stuff, and they have developers talking about it's going to be 8K and we're going to be able to ray trace light like you've never seen and all that stuff. One guy, I swear, I must have heard him wrong, but I swear he said, with SSD and solid state drive, I'm like, dude, what? No. How did that get in? I must have heard that wrong. But
you might have, but yeah, it was.
Sorry, From Software, not CD Projekt Red with the George R.R. Martin thing.
Yeah, but the whole reveal for Project Scarlet was just pure marketing jargon.
Yeah,
there was nothing in this reveal to tell you anything whatsoever about the console.
It's got better specs.
But yeah, but it's going to be eating monsters for breakfast apparently, or something along those lines. And Halo's is going to be a launch title for it
in holiday 2020.
Yeah, holiday 2020. So
and they showed a very, very, very long trailer of Halo 6, which showed no gameplay
whatsoever.
So some dude is drifting in space for a long time, and then he finds Master Chief just kind of floating out there, and he brings him in and turns him on, and Master Chief's like, let's go kick the aliens' butt who destroyed Earth. It's like,
yeah,
they probably spent millions of dollars on this thing, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to think if they did the same exact thing with something I care about, and I don't say that to disparage Halo. I just don't care about Halo. It's not a game for me. I played the first one. I thought it was okay. I played it before it was big, because it was a new IP. It took a while to really. It wasn't like instant. Holy crap! It was successful at launch, but because new console, but it was a while before. It was a. I'm sorry. Goodness me!
Yeah.
Someone just tweeted something dirty at me.
Okay.
So I saw my phone flash and I turned it on. I'm like, okay, and then went. Did I just see what I thought I saw?
Yeah, but I played it.
Oh, Halo. So I mean, if they did the exact same thing, just take that entire trailer, but it was Samus floating in the thing, and they brought her inside and turned her on, and she's like, "All right, now we got to go get the space pirates." I mean, I'd be excited for a new Metroid game. I'm not saying don't be excited for a new Halo game. Be excited for a new Halo game if you like Halo. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just saying I would be like, well, that trailer does nothing for me. It doesn't tell me anything about the game. I mean, Earth is destroyed and we're going to go kick the Covenant's ass, whoever the bad guys in Halo is. Man, what do you think, Chad? Are my expectations too high? Am I doing E3 wrong? Should I not be expecting to know how a game plays from the people who want me to pay for the privilege of playing it? Cortana has gone rogue, destroyed the Earth, and now we must take that rogue AI down.
Yeah. Well, I played the original Halo. Not extensively. I played it with some friends, and I thought, yeah, this is a first-person shooter. I'm done now.
It just struck me as a very competent first-person shooter with some really neat stuff. I like the buggy vehicle. What the hell is it called? Mainly because it bounced all over the place. And it was on. If you look at it, it honestly does not control very well, but it controls just well enough that it's kind of fun to drive around because it just flops all over the damn place.
Yeah.
So Matthew says it's 2020 holidays, but not shocked at lack of gameplay. Yeah, that's another thing. Is a lot of these games, as we've been making fun of, aren't coming out for nearly a year at least. I mean, I'm sure some of them will be delayed. So a lot of the times when you see these pre-rendered trailers or no gameplay, it's because they don't have anything ready yet, which is understandable. That said, why not spend the money instead of these weird guy floats through space, finds Master Chief, and turns him on? Why not pre-render some gameplay? Maybe
just show Master Chief.
If they do that and it doesn't match up exactly, then we get mad at them for lying to us. So, rock and hard place, I guess, but
just slap on the this isn't gameplay footage thing at the bottom and just show Master Chief shooting some aliens. But so that was the end of Microsoft, and I saw quite a few games that I liked, but a lot of stuff that I just didn't care about. But I don't know. I'll probably get an Xbox One at some point, and a Project Scarlet sometime in the next 10 years. So there's that.
Maybe concept art, storyboards, production art, something. Master Chief walk cycle. I don't know. But honestly, some of these little mini movies that they commission are actually really good. We'll get into it later. I forget which show it is, but there was the thing with the dragon and the panther person. I don't even know what game it was, but I really liked that little mini movie. No idea what the game is. No idea what it's called or how it plays, but I was like, I like the design of the panther person. I don't even remember what game that was, but we'll get to it later. So yeah, Microsoft has a new console coming out in year and a half, and it's going to be more powerful than the current one.
Not totally unexpected.
Yeah, and so far as we know, that's about it. And it's got SSD and a solid state drive. I had to have heard that wrong.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Now that we're past Microsoft's 3-hour conference, or however long it was, it didn't feel that long, but there was a lot of news.
It was long. It was long. I got to the hour mark, and I was like, this is going on longer than an hour. I'm going to have to take a break. So, but yeah, so that was Microsoft. And now we go to Bethesda, which kept theirs under an hour, which was nice. Or around an hour anyways. And so we see a bunch of developers, talk about why they started working at Bethesda, which was nice, I guess. Just say a little bit of, personal insight on who makes these games that a lot of people like. And then the Bethesda guy, whoever was presenting, came out on stage and started talking about their games, and he said Doom Eternal, but I heard Doom Maternal.
Ooh.
And my mind went straight to Doom guy cradling a baby Pinky Demon, and and I was just like, I would play that.
I totally would too. That sounds amazing. Okay, I'm definitely excited for Doom Eternal, which I'm sure comes out in 2020. No, it comes out this year, right?
I think so.
Where's Doom? Doom comes out, November 22. I really liked Doom 2016, so I'm quite looking forward to Doom Eternal. One thing that struck me as really odd is the footage did not look as good as the footage last year. What I mean by that is, I think maybe the feed I was watching was stuttering because the animation, what was presented, what was going on and happening in the world during the playthrough, and they actually showed gameplay, which was great because you can look at that and figure out what kind of game it is and how it plays and why it would be fun and why you want to give them lots of money. And we saw that kind of stuff a year ago, and it's still not coming out for several months. So don't give me this crap about we don't have anything to show you. Anyway, a lot of the actions and animations were more difficult to read, to discern, to figure out exactly what the hell I was looking at. A lot of the glory kills, as a specific example, seemed like they were just missing frames. Did that come across to you, or maybe it might have just been I did not get around to watching a direct feed of that presentation. I watched it live, I think so. So maybe it was just my feed was bad.
Maybe.
A lot of the glory kills, I was like, I can't figure out what actually just happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, I think hopefully it comes out a lot better than the presentation shows. But yeah, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the actual trailers because there's not a lot in Bethesda's show that I really am that interested in. But I do try to at least pay attention in just to get an idea of what they're showing. But I still thought, okay, so let's see here. So they started out with Fallout 76, and which was really funny because they got on stage and they admitted that their game sucks and that they've been trying to fix it. But what's really funny to me is that they admit that their game sucks, but for some reason people still played it. and I'm just like, okay. But yeah, but we're apparently Fallout 76 is apparently going to be getting what it should have had from the beginning, which is NPCs, story, and quests, because it's just been pure open world multiplayer game. There has been absolutely no people, no NPCs, nothing to do except for explore the world and kill other players. But the game's finally gonna get NPCs and quests from them, so that'll be interesting. But that's some stuff it should have had from day one. And then they're going to be getting something that it never should be getting, and that's a battle royale mode. But for some reason, every game needs a battle royale mode these days, even Tetris.
Okay, but I have to admit, Tetris 99 is what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
I have to admit that is a pretty neat idea. I don't know how well it plays, but when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, okay, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. But yeah, but apparently they're trying to make it even more worthy of the people who are playing it. I doubt anybody that left the game out of frustration and annoyance is going to be coming back, and nobody who didn't even want the game to begin with, I doubt it's going to attract any of those players. So there's that. And then Elder Scrolls Blades, the mobile game, is coming to the Switch, and I had to laugh at the little play on words with switchblades. I just thought that was a little funny, a funny play on words. Not a game I'm going to get at all, but
yeah. Not digging it.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bethesda really captured the gravity of just how badly they did with
Blades. Yeah.
That said, Otritsu says Tetris 99 works, can be pretty fun if you don't mind the frustration of getting piled on towards the end of your run. Yeah. You know what my biggest takeaway from Bethesda's event was? They paid the audience way too much to cheer. I mean, they must have paid like each individual member like $5,000 or some obscene amount, because the people in the Bethesda audience were so about literally everything, even things that you think
that interesting,
merit maybe a polite clap, that it feels like they were paid so much that they felt they had to overdo it. So Bethesda, I mean, it's your show. You can fill the audience. But don't pay them that much, because then it's not believable. I did not believe the audience.
No, it didn't. And that was something that I saw a lot of people on Twitter noting, was that these people are just too enthusiastic to really to be real. And
that game that you paid for and we screwed you over in multiple ways, a year later, we're finally going to make the game worth playing. Ah!
Yeah. You know that mobile game you completely ignored and hated us for? It's coming to the Switch. Ah! It's like,
I mean, it wasn't just Bethesda. This crap is at all the conferences, and it just amazes me that these fans, I guess there's something in the water. It's just exciting to be at E3, but they cheer about stuff that, they'll say, and we've got something new. Oh! It's like, I didn't even say what it was yet. Jeez.
Wait for the title card to pop up,
It's a new weird growth in a dark recess of my body that no one should ever see. Oh! It's like, are you not listening? Oh!
Yeah. But yeah, going back to what they did show us. So we got Ghostwire Tokyo, and it's some kind of rapture event, and there's shadows or something left, and you hunt the shadows. I have no idea. I totally have no clue what this game is.
Which one was this now?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, right, the Evil Within one, right?
Yeah, the creators of Evil Within, and
yeah, that was, it's like the rapture happens, and you're Hawkeye in your Ronin persona. I don't know. The trailer.
Yeah,
again, another trailer that tells you nothing. I mean, maybe the general premise of people gone missing. Maybe there are ghosts, but from the developers of Evil Within. Oh yeah, and the woman who presented it has been getting a lot of positive feedback for her boisterous exuberance in presentation. But man, and yes, she was boisterously exuberant. So well done on her. But that's not a good trailer because I have no idea what the game is, and therefore I have no interest in it. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm not saying I won't develop interest in it once I know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But
and then they showed stuff from Elder Scrolls Online, and this is where I noted the overexcitement. I said my entire tweet about Elder Scrolls Online is, I get that you're excited about Elder Scrolls Online, but let this guy finish his presentation. Because somebody was just cheering at like every single sentence of this presentation, and it was frustrating to watch. I can't imagine how frustrated the guy on stage was. It's like, I'm trying to talk here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there are definitely some really good presenters this year. And all the shows had some really good people on stage, and then some not so interesting people on stage. But yeah.
I mean, no one who was utterly embarrassing.
Yeah, there were no real bad moments.
Oh, that person was pretty good.
Yeah. I there weren't any just sit down and let it happen type moments, like from Killer Instinct. But yeah,
the only one that stuck out to me, it was I think it's Ubisoft. It was the John Berthel, the guy who plays
John Berthel. Yeah,
he had a line where he said something like, "The measure of a man is a performance in battle," or something like that. I'm like, yeah, oh, guys. I mean, no, just read the room. And by the room, I don't mean the conference, the amphitheater you're in. I mean the world right now.
Yeah.
We've got a horrible problem with toxic masculinity, among other things. That's just, might want to rewrite that. I mean, even if you just prefix the line with "in this game, the measure of a man," that probably would have been fine. But that's the only thing that really sticks out to me as a bit of a dropped ball.
Yeah. Let's see. And then
so back to where are we? Bethesda.
Yeah, we're still in Bethesda. We're getting a new game in the Commander Keen series, but it's starring kids.
Played the first one.
Huh?
Did you play the first one? I never did.
I haven't played a Commander Keen game. I looked it up afterwards, and I was just like, I might find this interesting. But
another game that the trailer didn't really communicate how it played, but it gave you the general premise. You play one of two goofy kids, and you do kind of Home Alone style pranks on the baddies. Okay, I can kind of see that. But I had no concept of really how it played or worked, and apparently it's a mobile game, so it kind of looks crap.
Yeah,
I was really digging the art style, and then they started showing some of the mobile stuff. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of Commander Keen fans aren't excited about this because it doesn't actually star Commander Keen. It's kids and not him. So yeah. Let's see here. Then we got Deathloop, which is another Groundhog's Day style game.
A game that makes the premise clear, but again, not exactly how the game plays. Again, it was all pre-rendered movie thing. And it was kind of an entertaining little movie.
Yeah.
And again, it communicates the premise, but not exactly how it plays, which personally I feel is kind of important for a video game.
Yeah.
But that made it.
Yeah. But Yeah, I'm sure there was other stuff shown at this. I'm trying to think back, but I kind of zoned out at the end because I didn't have anything. Rage 2 was another. Rage 2 is getting a new expansion, and then Bethesda has a new software technology to make game streaming better called Orion. So.
Oh, that is. I forgot about that. I was watching. I was thinking, I'm just going to put this out here, but maybe naming your new awesome video game streaming technology thing after a film company that went out of business, not the best move. I don't know. There's an association there. Orion, yeah, they're bankrupt.
Yeah. But the galaxy is on Orion's belt, so
I love to death.
Yeah, but the galaxy is on Orion's belt, so maybe that's where they're going with it.
Yeah. Which was probably the most forced part of the Men in Black script. Yeah. No one would phrase it like that, but he was an alien, so maybe his grasp of English wasn't great. And it was, what is her name? Linda Fiorentino, who kind of on Orion's, and she's like, belt? And he's like, yeah, that's where it is.
It's good enough.
It's like, what he was saying, but what was he going for?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway.
All right. So that was Bethesda's conference, and then it was immediately followed by Devolver Digital's episode 4 of its crazy Black Mirror style thing. Or is this the third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. We'll get to the individual announcements, but just overall the presentation, what did you think of Devolver Digital's presentation this year?
I didn't like it as much as I liked last year's.
I agree.
Yeah, it just didn't feel the same. It just didn't have the same kind of energy and off the wallness as last year's had.
I was as confused as Nina Struthers, because she gets stuck in like a digital conference and she doesn't know where she is or why she is or what the rules are. What I felt narratively was the problem is neither does the audience.
Yeah.
We couldn't have fun at her expense because we didn't really understand what was going on either. Not that it was without merit. I generally enjoyed the silly Adult Swim-esque humor. Yeah. And I think they did a much better job of actually parodying RoboCop rather than the last 2 minutes of last year's show where they just did RoboCop exactly beat for beat. This time they actually parodied it, which is
which was
I think
good.
The biggest problem, I can't state that definitively. Let me rephrase that. What appears to be happening to me is Devolver Digital writes the script like 2 weeks before E3, and then it just knocks it out the week before, and it's done. Like it feels like this thing is, and they do a very good job if they're working in that compressed of a amount of time. All 3 shows feel like the scripts. As much as I enjoy the presentation, all 3 of them felt like this feels like it needed a couple more rewrites. It's just not there.
Yeah, it just didn't work. Like, because the announcer lady, she's just all the whole. Why did I say that? Why do I keep saying this stuff?
I don't really know why. I mean,
I don't know.
Too, but then it goes off and on, and I'm not clear why or what that means. Or it was just kind of the premise was actually kind of confusing.
Yeah, it was very, very confusing. But yeah, so I didn't like it as much as last year. But every TV show has its lousy episodes. So. We'll let Devolver have. We'll mark this one down as the misstep in the series.
Matthew
and hopefully they pull it back.
It's making fun of super rehearsed press conferences. I'm going to disagree. I don't think it's actually that meta. I think it's just rushed.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. It just feels like another couple of passes at the script level, and these things could be really super tight.
Yeah.
But it feels like something they're putting together fairly last minute, and they probably don't have the budget to spend 3 months on it.
Probably not. Yeah.
All right.
But,
so what does Devolver Digital have for us?
Goodness, now I gotta figure that out. So they first start out with a this whole riff on bootlegs and piracy and everything, and it was cute and everything, and then it all boils down to they've released a Devolver's bootleg edition or whatever, and it's just a bunch of mini games that are bad parodies or bad riffs off of existing Devolver games. And I read a few, and it's out already. Like if you want to go on to Steam and get it, it's there. You can get it for,
I think they put it
1% off, which I thought was hilarious. So $4.96 or 95 cents. But yeah, it's a good joke, and but the reviews that I've read said that it's a fun joke, but it's not. You're not going to play this more than an hour or whatever, just to try out the different games.
What does it cost?
It's just $5. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's $5 for about an hour's worth of play. If you just want to goof off with it. But yeah, that was trying to figure out where, because I kind of watched a few of these shows out of order, and now I got to figure out where I put Devolver Digital and Twitter. But yeah, so here we go. But yeah, I thought it was a great joke. It was fun. I went straight to the website as they were talking about it, and looked over the Steam page and everything. I thought it was fun. Mm-hmm. And then the guy presenting exploded into a bloody blob monster to introduce Carrion, which
that really looks cool. I really like that.
I want to play Carrion. Yes. It looks like a lot of fun. So you play as this big fleshy blob, and you just go around and you kill people in a lab and you try to escape. And it just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
They utterly nailed the animation of this amorphous blobby creature that moves through corridors and vents and stuff and just keeps shooting tendrils out all over the place to pull itself along. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it plays well or not, but I liked what I saw. So, kudos to them for actually showing some gameplay and making me say, ooh, I would actually like to try that. Game of the show!
Yeah, definitely a good looking game. And then they had Enter the Gungeon Arcade, which I'm not entirely sure if it's an actual arcade cabinet or if they're just calling it arcade. But
I'm assuming it's actually a light gun game that will be in arcades like Dave and Buster's.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll.
So, Enter the Gungeon House of the Gun Dead. So,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't write down the full title. I just.
Yep. That is one of the problems of the Devolver Digital shows. Is a lot of times you're not sure if they're joking or not.
Yeah,
it's like, this is serious. We're doing this game. It's like, are you really? No. Wait, really? That's not a joke? Okay, it is a joke, but you're still actually doing it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't remember if there was anything else in Devolver Digital.
There was. Didn't they have that Fall Guys trailer? Bunch of
maybe I don't remember it though.
Dudes running around, like 100 cartoony dudes running around and going through an obstacle course.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay, yeah.
Which I think
I just didn't pay much attention to it, I guess.
I like the aesthetic, but again, the trailer wasn't very clear on what the hell the game is. I read up on it later, and apparently it's essentially a battle royale game, but instead of 100 people versus each other to kill each other to the last person standing, it's 100 people trying to make it through an obstacle course, and the one who makes it to the end wins. which is a nice twist on the formula, I think that could be really cool. I don't know why they didn't actually, show any of that, because again, I reiterate, I feel that if I come away from your game trailer not knowing what the game is or how it plays, you have failed.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me.
So yeah,
next?
The PC gaming show. You said you didn't watch the PC gaming show, right?
Regale me with PC goodness.
All right.
You know I'm a huge PC gamer.
All right. So I'm just gonna run through these games because I don't even remember if I watched this in order or not. I might have ended up watching it the second half and then the first half. But Evil Genius 2. And trying to find the recap of the PC gaming show so I can.
I did actually watch the trailer for Evil Genius 2. Again, no gameplay, but it does. Well, I know how Evil Genius 1 played, so I assume Evil Genius 2 will play similarly.
Yeah, I think it's going to play similar, and I think it looked good. I would totally play it just based on what I saw. Okay, so yeah, I'm at the beginning here. Okay, so yeah, I think it looks like it could be fun. But next up was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
I saw an extended trailer of that too, and it was all pre-rendered story
all
stuff.
pre-rendered, yeah. There was nothing to show on it.
And at this point, I'm starting to wonder, is there a game here?
Yeah. So there's that. Next up was Chucklefish, the publisher of Stardew Valley, has another game. They're publishing another game. It's called Starmancer.
I want to play a game called Chucklefish. I want to play a game called Chucklefish. That sounds pretty good.
But it's a colony ship style management game, so it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I would certainly give it a try. I'm a big fan of Stardew Valley, and hopefully Chucklefish is a good judge of character when it comes to games that they publish, because it looks like it could be a lot of fun. And
he says there's like a 20 minutes of Vampire Masquerade. I think he's talking about Vampire Masquerade. So okay, I'll check it out.
We'll have to check that out.
I watched was like 4 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. And then we had Chivalry 2, which it's a game.
Yeah, that's nice. Similar to the first one.
Oh, and let me see here if I'm in this. Okay, at some point. Okay, we're not there yet. Okay, sorry, I was getting ahead of myself because I think I skipped a few games when I was doing this. Okay, so we got Mosaic, which is a third-person game where you play a guy who's playing Pokemon Go. Is what I get from this trailer. It's like you collect more blops, and apparently you play as a guy who has his phone out and is walking through town and trying to collect blops on his phone.
I don't know how that game plays, but I can envision a game where you're playing some person who's got their face buried in their phone playing Pokemon Go or some other type of wander around AR game, and the point of the game is to make sure this person successfully plays their game without being run over. So you have to maneuver them into places where they can catch their Pokemans or whatever, but also not get hit by a car or eaten by rabid spider monkeys or something. You know, that could be a really interesting game.
Could be. Yeah. But next up is Midnight Ghost Hunt, which is a multiplayer ghost hunting game.
I saw the trailer for that. Yeah. Again, gives you a premise, but no actual sense of how the game plays.
But it's a 4v4 game where you got 4 people who are ghost hunters and 4 people who are ghosts, and so it's a fun little premise. No idea how it's going to play.
Yeah.
And then Unexplored 2, and I don't remember this one. I probably saw it, but I didn't put any notes in for it. So, yeah.
Unexplored and unremembered.
Yeah. The Wayfarer's Legacy is the subtitle. And then next up was an ad for Samsung monitors, and this ad ticked me off.
Oh.
The ad shows a full-on bullet, casing the everything, like fully intact bullet flying through the air, as if it's been shot out of a gun.
I got so many James Bond posters do that.
And I saw that.
The casing does not come out of the gun, just a bullet.
And I saw that, and I'm just like, sorry, Samsung, you lost me. I'm not buying your monitor now. If bullets are fully, if you shoot the full bullet and not just the slug from the end of your gun when you're using your monitor, no, it's a worthless monitor, because it just ticked me off.
One of these days,
I'm not even a gun nut. I just know that when you fire a gun, only the tip of the bullet, the slug, that's the only thing that leaves the barrel of the gun. Everything else is still in there until you eject it.
Oddly, I have never seen a movie poster with like someone with a shotgun with the full shell, the green and red shell kind of flying across the screen.
Oh man, I can just imagine that. But yeah, that Samsung ticked me off.
Bad Samsung. You should feel bad.
Yes. But yeah. Next up is Mutant Year Zero: Seed of Evil, Conan Unconquered, and Moons of Madness. Okay, sorry, sir. I think there's 3 games here. I'm looking at a recap on PC Gamer, because I didn't.
The Mutant Zero, is that DLC? Because that game's already out, I think.
I think it's DLC, or either that or it's a sequel, but I don't know. Conan Unconquered is a Age of Wonder style Conan game, where you take control of armies and bases and conquer the world. Right. Yeah, and then Moons of Madness, I don't remember what Moons of Madness is, but yeah. And then Conan Chop Chop, which is
that's a good name.
Yeah, well, it was an April Fool's joke from Funcom, I think, and then they actually turned it into a real game. And so yeah, it's just a goofy Conan game, basically.
You know that game called Untitled Goose Game?
Yeah.
I really just think they should call the game
that's actually
Goose.
Yeah, I think it's actually in the PC Game Show.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It looks cool. I just think it should be called Asshole Goose. I mean, you couldn't sell it like that most places, but it seems like the appropriate title to me.
Yeah. But next up is the Last Oasis, and now this one is an interesting looking game. It's a survival MMO where no one has wheels, so it's like all of the war machines walk on legs instead of roll on wheels and stuff. Last Oasis.
Am I thinking of Lost Oasis or something?
I don't know, maybe. But yeah, it looks interesting, but I'm just like, I think the war machines are kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. Then Age of Wonders Planetfall. This one looks amazing because you can actually ride dinosaurs in it. It's a it's a
write that down. That sounds great.
Yeah, Age of Wonders Planetfall, and it's a strategy game, and there's 3 classes of characters, and one of them is literally Dino Riders. You remember Dino Riders, right? Yeah, that's literally what one of the player classes is. It's great. I want to play it just because I can ride freaking dinosaurs with lasers on their heads.
What more could you do?
Yeah. And then we have a really, really terrible looking zombie shooter game, Zombie Army 4 Dead War. I'm sorry, it was totally boring looking. And I was just like, yeah, skip that totally. Griftlands is next, and this one looks good. It's got a good animated art style, cel shaded art style, but it's a car. It's the mechanics are card based. It's like you can build a party when you talk to people, you play cards, and that is your action.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might play fun. I liked Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memory, which had a deck building component where it's like you flip over the card on top of your deck, and that's the move you could move, or you could bank it a couple of times until you find a move you like. And I like that kind of stuff. So I could totally play Griftlands. It looks like it could be a lot of fun.
All right.
And then you have a survival horror Groot game where instead of zombies, you're fighting a horde of Groots, and which is very interesting. It's called Remnant from the Ashes. I don't know. They're not really Groots, but they're just a bunch of tree/plant based monsters.
And tree people, whatever.
Yeah. It looked interesting. I think it's a unique take on the zombie survival horror genre, and where instead of zombies, you're fighting mindless tree people. And let's see. Next up is Planet Zoo, which is just a zoo tycoon style game. You have a zoo and you make it cool. So my wife and my kids like playing Zoo Tycoon, so I would get this for them. They would probably like it. Songs of Conquest there was absolutely zero gameplay footage of this. The art style is it's a retro style pixel animated thing, but there was zero gameplay. It looked good, but have no idea how it's going to play. Oh, let's see here. And then they showed Shenmue 3, and I gotta say the animation looks bad. It looks like a PS2 game. It's
really, I just want to know what's the guy's name in it? Is it Ryu?
I don't remember.
What's his name? Kenny. We'll say it's Kenny. Someone in the chat, tell me what the hell the protagonist of Shenmue's name is, because I can't remember. I'm just wondering why, because the first game takes place in his hometown, and while you can get out of there in a couple of days, I think you have like 4 solid months before you lose the trail of Quan Chi. That's Mortal Kombat, but Xiao Lo, something like that, before the trail goes cold. Plenty of time. But the first game takes place over at least a week or two, right? Then you get on between games, you get on a boat to China, which probably takes a week. I don't know. And then the game takes place in China for a while. You're in town probably at least a week. And then the last hour of the game is you walking forever. And that's like a 3-day trip that you're walking. So from the start of Shenmue 1 to the end of Shenmue 2 has got to be at least a month, right? Okay, so Shenmue 3 takes place after that. Why does this dipstick still have the same Band-Aid across his cheek? Why?
Maybe he's a lousy healer.
Every single day? Is it the same Band-Aid? Has it become one with his face? This is like the most unimportant thing ever, but it really bugs me. Why does he still have a bandage on his face after at least a month?
Yeah, I don't know. But seriously, I think the graphics look, for a game coming out in 2020 or whenever this game is actually going to end up coming out, it looks terrible.
It was a game that I think was originally kickstarted for like $2 million or $4 million. I think they wanted $2 million. They got $4 million, but then I think Deep Silver ended up
a publishing deal,
publishing it, plus some money from Sony. So
And now they're getting money from.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed with what I saw.
Yeah,
but then again,
now they're getting money from
games
Epic.
were never. Well, actually, no. They did visually. They did a lot for their time. I take that back.
Yeah. But they're also getting a ton of money from Epic apparently because they're going Epic Store exclusive, which is ticking off a lot of Kickstarter backers because they backed it so they could get the Steam version.
Yeah, because there wasn't an Epic Store 4 years ago or whenever this game was first announced. So yeah, I mean they're within their rights to do that because when you support a Kickstarter, you're investing in a game, you're not pre-ordering it. But that's just a bad look. And I read the Kickstarter post. I think it was it was some weird thing where they're like, we think that selling it on the Epic Store will make the game the best it can possibly be. I'm like, oh,
don't lie to us,
dude. Don't do that. Just say we needed more money, and Epic has Tencent in their back pocket, so or Tencent is their native Tencent, so. The digital distribution platform does not make the game more fun, you jackass.
Next up is Vermintide 2 Versus. It's basically just a PvP mode for Vermintide 2. And I believe that's a Warhammer 40,000 or whatever that game series is. And then let's see. I have no interest whatsoever in Vermintide. Then Per Aspera. I don't remember this one. The PC Gaming Recap says, you're a human, kind of. Your mind is in a machine, and your job is to head to Mars to terraform it, but you start with almost nothing. Okay, so this is a Mars terraforming simulator. Okay, could be fun. And then Auto Chess. I have no idea what Auto Chess is, but it's from Valve to something like that. But I don't know what Auto Chess is. I'm sorry. Valferis, a side scroller of some kind, and I don't remember anything about it either.
Glad all these games made such a big impression.
Yeah, as much as I love the PC gaming show's pacing and presentation, it's like they don't sit too long on any one game. Like with Bethesda's show, they spent 20 minutes on Gears 5. Or it seemed like 20 minutes at least, and that was about 15 minutes too long as far as
they spent like 25 minutes on Final Fantasy VII and Square Enix's show.
Yeah, exactly. And
but it's God, are we doing what Nintendo did last year, and half the show is going to be the same game?
Yeah, but the PC gaming show, it's like show a trailer, talk to developers for a couple of minutes, move on to the next game.
Do a Samsung commercial.
A Samsung commercial. I think there was another hardware commercial in there somewhere too. But it's like some of these games I just left no impression whatsoever on me. And then so after Valferis was Borderlands 3. We got to see a little bit of that, which I don't particularly care about. And then Maneater. I want Maneater so bad.
Maneater.
It's the shark game.
Oh, right.
They introduced the main antagonist of the series or the game, and he's basically a shark hunter, and you have to avoid him, and I guess eventually fight him or something as you take your little pup shark and evolve him into a land walking murder machine. And then Frankie.
Not man-eater, man-eater. Damn autocorrect.
And Frankie, one of the presenters, she dressed up in a little shark costume, which was funny.
Co-host. So same co-host from last year.
The host and co-host, Frankie cool. And whoever the guy was. But yeah, Maneater just looks good. I want to play it, and I don't even care
I think
if
that
it
was there
ends up.
last year too.
Yeah, it was on the show last year, so I can't remember when it's. I don't know if they actually announced a release date or not, uh, but yeah, I want to play it so bad just because you get to play a shark and you can evolve your shark to be able to survive on land, which is great. Oh, and the next hardware ad was for eWin gaming chairs. I'm just like, okay, now I got
You're
this
gonna
nice chair,
sit like
and
a gamer.
yeah, I got this great chair that I sit in for the show from one of my previous jobs. Um, they had these chairs. I really liked it. They upgraded their chairs and they told everybody in the office if they wanted to take home one of the old chairs, they could. And I'm like, I'm taking home a chair because I
You
like
know,
it.
my work. I don't know who our was supposed to be, but my work did the same thing a few years ago, and I didn't take one of the chairs because they were all really nasty.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they were all really gross,
Yeah.
and to reupholster it would have. You may as well buy a new chair.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just like this one because it's comfortable. The reclining settings are nice, and it doesn't have a high back, which is something that I like. I don't like the ones that come up all the way up to my shoulder
yeah.
and head. I don't like that. But it's not one of those lousy $20 school desk chairs that you could get at Walmart either, which is nice. All right, so yeah, I don't care about eWin's gaming chairs. And then Terraria is getting a huge update called Journey's End, and this is a kind of big news because they've been teasing out updates for Terraria 1.36 or something like that, but
Mhm.
this is what that is actually called, and a lot of content in this. I like Terraria. I've played it 90 to 100 hours or whatever on Steam and on my computer, and I'm excited for this. There's new bosses, there's new biomes, and a bunch of ton of new equipment, apparently new items and stuff. So yeah, Terraria fans are going to get a lot to play with in this thing. Let's see, we got a Warframe Empyrean, and what is Warframe? I don't remember. This is an
The
expansion
free-to-play cheat sheet
combat game.
game.
Let's see, and
I think
after
it's pretty
that,
good.
yeah, I've heard of it. I just can't
The right
think of.
who has over 1,000 hours on Terraria.
Oh wow,
Yikes.
yeah, I haven't put that many hours in any game. I've put well, I think Steam might be fudging my numbers on Stardew Valley because my kids play it too.
Yeah, I
But
think a
I
little over
put in over
200 is like
200
the most
hours.
I've put into any game.
Yeah.
And that includes stuff like Monster Hunter and Hyrule Warriors and games that just take a long, and the various Yakuza games.
But I've put a lot of hours in Minecraft, but I don't have anything that tracks those hours. So yeah. But okay, so afterwards is a game called Telling Lies, which is from the makers of Her Story.
Oh yeah.
This is the NSA game where you have to figure out what is actually going on with all this leaked video that you've been given.
Uh-huh.
So looks interesting.
It looks interesting. I'm just concerned that I liked Her Story, but I came out of it thinking I don't really want to play a game that plays exactly like this again. It was a great new experience, but it's not an experience I want to have over and over. So hopefully this new telling, or whatever it's called, hopefully it works differently enough. Because if it's exactly the same functionally as Her Story, I probably won't. And even if the story's really good, I probably won't enjoy it as much
Yeah.
as I would otherwise.
Yeah. That next up is Chris Tales. There's no gameplay in this trailer, as far as I know. Oh well, there's a demo available on Steam. Apparently, it's coming out in 2020, but it's a love letter to classic RPGs, which I assume means the Tales of style games. But yeah, I don't know. I might
Did you
check it out.
mention Tales of Arise, which I think was Microsoft's?
Yeah, Tales of Arise was in
Okay.
Microsoft. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Tales, it's got a good art style, I think. It's 2D, cell shaded anime style or manga style stuff. So yeah, it looks good. I'll have to try out the demo. The demo is available and it's free to try out the demo. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a try now, just to see what it's like. Now that I know there's a demo out there. Genesis Noir, which is a very interesting, it's surreal looking black and white style game. I no idea what it is.
What's it called?
No idea. Genesis Noir, Noir.
All right.
Like noir, classic noir. So yeah, and then we've got Okay, how do you say this? Hio, I think Hijo.
Hiho?
Hiho.
Not sure.
Oh no, Eho. Yeah,
Eho.
Eho is how you would say it because the H is silent. Yeah.
Right.
El Eho.
Then yeah, El Hijo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a stealth game of some sort. Stars a 6-year-old looking for his mom.
Is he like lost in a mall or something? Jason?
No, he's it's like in a, he gets separated from his mom in the middle of a desert town or something like that, and it's a 2D isometric style game. Looks good. I wouldn't mind playing it. But yeah, let's see. Baldur's Gate 3. We got that trailer, which was really cool. We zero gameplay footage. Absolutely no gameplay footage. It was basically the makers of Divinity are making Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah. So yeah, that was the end of the PC gaming show.
All right.
Yeah. I'm excited to see more stuff in the Baldur's Gate universe. I liked the first two games, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I've never played Icewind Dale, but it's something I want to try. I want to play, but yeah, if somebody's going to make a third Baldur's Gate, apparently the people who make Divinity are the
Did
people.
they ever show any gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3?
No. This is still early in development, apparently. So it's probably not even going to come out next year. It'll probably be like 3 years.
Okay, that early. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the.
Because I know how Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 play, but that was like two decades ago. So I have to imagine Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be significantly different. So I'm kind of curious to see how it plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious as well. Hopefully they stick to a similar gameplay style, just update it for because it's a very hard game to play going back to it just because of all the limitations of the hardware at the time.
Yeah.
But
all of those Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, they're kind of hard to the early Fallout games, and those are really hard to play today.
Yeah,
because you're like, wait, I have to move and then drag the entire screen with me. Why?
Yeah, exactly. I played the original Fallout, and a couple of years ago, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's very much a product of its time.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's the PC gaming show. Next up is Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, all right.
Yeah.
There were no rabbits.
Yeah, no rabbits. But yeah, they no rabbits at all. I don't think they showed anything that really interested me at all because it's like there was no rabbits.
I like the art style too. I like the art style for Gods and Monsters. I was like, ooh, show me the game, but they didn't. Like, you're fighting, Greek mythology monsters. I'm like, ooh, and it's really cartoony and cool. Ooh, we're not going to show you it. Oh,
yeah. But yeah, it's
and Watch Dogs Legion is. I feel like they're not telling us something because
Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, Watch Dogs Legion. The whole you can recruit anyone in the entire game. I'm like, really, anyone? So literally, I mean, probably not the bad guy soldiers who have taken over the government and stuff. So not the government officials or the police, but or anyone in whatever.
Well, no, apparently you can recruit some people because I believe they showed an actual cop as part of the Legion in the trailer, but I don't know.
Well, okay.
Either a cop or a security guard, one of the two.
How it was presented is like every person you want to recruit, you have to like play their mission first. And I'm like, okay, but what do you really have? How many NPCs are there? Are they fully voiced in every single one, and you could have anyone in any cutscene? Would you hire 5 voice actors and just use voice modulations to pitch their voices differently for 50 different characters? How is this going to work? Also, it's kind of weird that you could recruit anybody because surely there'd be, people out in the
who
population
don't really care
the authoritarian regime or whatever, or who profit and benefit from it and kind of like it, and who will rat you out. And maybe the game does do that. They just didn't want to talk about it yet. But I definitely get the sneaking suspicion that Ubisoft is not telling us something. And it could either be we're saving some surprises for later, or it could be something we're going to learn about later and just not like it. It doesn't serve the game.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I really loved the animation on the old lady with the taser gun.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good. The way she just kind of throws herself onto someone to tackle him. That was great.
And the way she kind of hobbles along like a little old lady does. And I'm just like, we need more games starring little old ladies.
Yes.
Yeah. I fell in love with that little old lady.
It was hitting people with her purse and smacking them with a taser, and that made the whole thing right there. I'm like,
and her dropping F-bombs and all of that, and it's the grandma everybody wants.
Well, I mean, it's certainly an ambitious idea. I hope they do it justice.
I hope they pull it off. I haven't played a Watch Dogs game, but I don't wish them any ill will for this series. But man, if they can pull off their premise, then it'll be great.
Yep, March 6th, 2020, and Gods and Monsters is February 25th, 2020. So
yeah. So yeah, let's see. We've got Mythic Quest. I'm trying to figure out what that one is. Is that the Gods and Monsters game? Or am I thinking of something else?
Well,
yeah.
No, Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet is that television show that.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah. The television show. Okay.
Yeah, that Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah, from this, Always Sunny producers. So okay, I didn't realize that was a TV show when I first saw that, and I thought they were just doing a goofy trailer for the game, and then I learned after the fact that it was a TV show. I was like, okay, let's let it be a TV show. Then we had the Not Punisher game starring John Bernthal.
Okay, wait a minute. I know John Bernthal is in the game. Is the dog in the game too? Because
I want to know. Yes,
and I want to know if the dog is in the game.
Yeah, he brought the dog on the stage, and no, you can't pet the dog. John Bernthal didn't even pet the dog on stage, but he was a very good dog. He came out on stage, he sat, he laid down, and he did not do anything else. He was a very well trained dog.
He was a better presenter than half the conferences.
Yeah, but John Bernthal was out there for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which again I call this.
Of.
Yeah, but I call this the not Punisher game because it stars John Bernthal and the logo is a skull.
Yeah,
but it's not a
it's
Punisher
not
game.
Punisher.
But yeah, the dog was on stage. John Bernthal is great. I like him as an actor, but he doesn't have a fraction of the charisma that Keanu Reeves has.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's a nice enough guy, I think, and I like a lot of the stuff that he's been in. So he's definitely
the only thing I've seen him in, but I think he's
well, he's been in The Punisher. He's been in The Walking Dead.
or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he was in The Walking Dead, the first season of that.
And
a few other things. Yeah, he died.
Oh.
But yeah, I like him. He's my second favorite Punisher after the guy who played him in Dirty Laundry, the web short. I liked him a little bit better. Yeah, Thomas Jane. I liked him better. but yeah. So yeah. So my big question was, there's a dog on stage. Can you play it? And apparently the answer is no. So a lot of people tweeted at "Can you pet the dog?" The Twitter channel, or the Twitter feed that keeps track of whether you can pet the dog in video games, and said, "Nope, you can't do it."
You know, here's what I'm saying: if there's a cat or a dog or anything cute and fluffy in a video game, there better be a pet button, a dedicated pet button.
Yeah. Let's see. Just Dance.
Which I noticed is coming to the Wii, but not the Wii U.
Yeah, a lot of people noticed that, and I thought that was kind of funny, which, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people still own a Wii, but very few of those Wii owners upgraded to the Wii U. And everybody that has a Wii U, or almost everybody who has a Wii U, has already upgraded to the Switch.
Right.
So, yeah, no point in supporting the Wii U. But yeah, but it's also coming to Google Stadia, and everybody's wondering how that's going to play, because Google Stadia, as far as we know, doesn't have motion controls.
But unlike most of the games announced at E3, Just Dance 2020 is coming out in 2019.
That's true. That is very true.
Someone asked me about Google Stadia the other day, and they're like, I don't get it. What is Google Stadia? And I said, it's like Netflix, except in addition to paying for the subscription service, you also have to pay for each individual movie you watch. And you don't own the movie when it's off the service. You don't get to watch it anymore, even though you paid full price for it. I don't think I sold it very well.
But I don't think you did either. But okay. But yeah, then we had the third or so Tom Clancy game. So we've got there's Rainbow Six Quarantine, The Division 2,
which was a neat
and then the Ghost Recon game. They're all Tom Clancy games. So 3 Tom Clancy games in this.
Yeah, Elite Squad was that was really
and
weird.
Elite Squad.
Elite
so that's
Squad
4,
was weird because they're like, now all the recognizable Ubisoft characters you know and love. It's Sam Fisher and person from Rainbow Six and that guy from Ghost Recon Wildlands. You remember him, right? Guy, right? It was like, oh, this is so sad.
It is very sad.
Brothers, but you don't have a recognizable cast of characters to put in it. I actually felt a little bad.
Yeah.
Because they were like, can we put a rabbit in here? People will at least recognize what that is.
Yeah, it's like, we've got a bunch of guys in this game and they all look the same. How do we sell this? But to lighten up all that and to take a nice little break away from Tom
Clancy branded product, not Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have the Assassin's Creed characters there too.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tom Clancy himself will be
maybe an unlockable character, DLC, something like that. But in a nice change of pace, we're getting a roller derby game, Roller Champions.
Yeah, which had no gameplay in it.
Yeah, but
I mean, it was a fun
caught
little
my
trailer,
attention. It caught
got
my
some nice
attention, and
design.
I would play it as long as the gameplay worked.
Yeah,
I liked the Tony
I've
Hawk Pro
watched
Skater
roller derby and
series.
have no idea what the rules are.
Yeah, but I'm willing to give Roller Champions a try just because it's a different type of sports game.
Sure,
But yeah,
I'm
and
not, but you tell me
then
how it is.
yeah, let's see. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is getting a story creator and discovery tour modes, which I'm like, okay.
Ubisoft has its own game subscription thing,
Oh
Uplay Plus
yes,
or
yeah,
something like that.
U Plus or something. What is it?
$15 a month to access Ubisoft games. I'm sure that's going to be very popular.
Yeah,
That will totally
I think
last
that
a
is
year.
probably the dumbest announcement of E3 at all, because
Like,
what's the point of an Ubisoft subscription
like,
service?
does that include the Just Dance subscription thing for all the Just Dance games? Because there's a
Yeah,
Just Dance World Tour or some subscription thing where you can fill your game with 400 titles. It's like,
yeah.
do I get Uplay Plus for free if I already pay for that, or do I get that for free if I sign up for Uplay Plus? Uplay Plus. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, and they're getting there's some kind of Adventure Time game that's
No,
crossed with
it's the Adventure
Brawlhalla.
Time characters are guesting in
Yeah.
Brawlhalla.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what that is. I don't even know what
I
Brawlhalla is, but
I can't get past the design. I hear Adventure Time is a wonderful show. I cannot get past the design. Call me shallow, but I find it that just it pushes me away.
yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay, and then they ended their show on Gods and Monsters, which looks great.
I
Apparently
really
it's
like
just
the
going to be a
style. Yeah,
Zelda clone, a Breath of the Wild clone, but
sure,
it looks good. I think it looks nice. It's
it's
it
representative.
visually differentiating enough from Breath of the Wild and other 3D adventure games like that. So, I might give it a try. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to break um, my Ubisoft boycott anytime soon, but Gods and Monsters and Roller Champions might do it. I don't know.
I think there was some like Division 2 DLC or something too, but
Yeah, there was some other stuff for their other games, but it was mostly DLC and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
The
yeah.
big on stage Just Dance break was nowhere near as elaborate as it has been in years past.
Oh no, it
Kind of
was like,
exciting.
yeah, the last year's I think was just huge
Last year
and
started
insane,
outside
and
and then came in, and then there's this whole big production. Now it was just a couple people on stage, boogie boogie, and it's like, yeah, Just Dance, whatever. It's on the Wii.
you get the idea.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So that was Ubisoft.
Yep.
So next up, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, the Square Enix presentation.
Square Enix was kind of funny because I love RPGs. I love Square Enix, but man, when you stack JRPGs back to back to back to back, God, they just blend together. If you don't have an eye for it, that was like an hour of the same JRPG and the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, it's all the same.
But yeah,
boys with big swords.
But Final Fantasy VII was literally the half their show. It was Final Fantasy VII, and
well, it was like 25 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, they showed tons of gameplay, which was nice.
Yes.
They've basically turned their RPG mechanics into a cover shooter, which I'm not entirely sure.
I was kind of weirded out by the, suffer through the real-time battle mechanics long enough and we'll let you play with the traditional battle mechanics, the menu stuff. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it works in game. It felt kind of weird. It's pretty. I'll give it that.
Yeah. And I did note that Final Fantasy VII is all grown up and it can swear now.
Oh yeah.
But
although I do wish that who's the guy with Cloud fighting the spider boss or scorpion boss?
Barrett.
Barrett?
Yeah.
Barrett? Shut up, dude. Jeez.
Yes.
I don't know if that was just selective editing that just ran all his lines together, but if he talks that much, I'm going to have to turn the dialogue off because it's like, oh my God, dude, shut up.
That was my thought too. I was watching that boss fight. Okay, and this boss fight was going on for like nearly 10 minutes.
If he's constantly yammering throughout the entire thing, I don't think
I was just like, if this is how boss fights are going to be and there's just going to be a ton of banter during the whole thing, I hope there's a way to turn that off.
Yeah.
Because I am not going to deal with that. That is going to get so old so fast and frustrating.
Now again, that may have just been the editing putting the voice quips closer together, but
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not totally sold on the gameplay of this one.
Right.
But I don't know.
Some
people are gonna like it.
Business model of this.
Yeah, because
I don't think Square Enix knows what it's doing.
Yeah,
I don't think Square Enix has any idea how big this game is going to be or how long it's going to be. I saw I didn't hear Square Enix, but I heard someone say that Square Enix said, so who knows if this is true, but Square Enix expects that this could be enough releases that it spans generations.
Like generations of people or generations of consoles?
Yeah, generations of consoles. Like, they'll have the first 2 games on the PS4 and then finish it up on the PS5, maybe the last one on the PS6.
Yeah, that's...
Like, are you going to remake the first part of Final Fantasy VII again before you even get to the end?
I don't know. But so Final Fantasy VII HD whatever is episode 1 is coming out in March, and this one is just basically the first core sequence of the game where you're in the city of Midgar and you basically blow it up or whatever, blow up a reactor, and then you have to do stuff and then eventually escape. And then escaping the city is the end of episode 1. And I think in the original game, that's about a good 10 hours of gameplay. Mm-hmm. So, it might that might be enough. But the original game is on 3 discs on the PS1. The final disc is basically just the final dungeon, but the entire game, like if you want to do everything in the game, that's about 60 hours of gameplay. So,
you know what? If they cut 60% of Garrett's voice clips, they could probably fit the entire thing on the one Blu-ray.
Yeah. So
that's why it's multiple games. Garrett just won't shut the hell up. Constantly yammers out the entire thing.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not entirely sold on this. I don't own the Final Fantasy VII anymore, but I played the original. I thought it was good for what it was. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy game, so I'm not as excited about this as everybody else is. But apparently, and there was a "Take my wallet" guy in the crowd. Like, he literally yelled at the top of his lungs, "Take my wallet," when they announced the release date.
Right. And you want to keep your driver's license or social security card.
Yeah. But so 20-25 minutes or so of Final Fantasy VII was fun-ish. Yeah. And then we're getting they showed a trailer for the sequel to Life is Strange.
Yeah, which was one of those trailers that focused on the reactions of people playing it more than the actual game.
Yeah.
Which never sits right with me, honestly. It's to me, that's the laugh track of video game trailers. I don't want you trying to tell me how I should react. I would rather just react. Of course, my reaction is pretty much this all the time.
Yeah.
If you watched my Nintendo reaction, I think I grinned twice, which is pretty good. That means Nintendo won 3.
Yeah. So after that, Crystal Chronicles is coming to mobile and the Switch. And I think this is just a remake of the original Crystal Chronicles.
They remastered to the GameCube, and maybe it's like widescreen or something, but it looked
the same, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they bumped that up much. That's probably maybe it's 480p, but it looked pretty muddy.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised.
And then Octopath Traveler is coming to PC. It's now on PC.
Yeah. It is nice that Crystal Chronicles, which I hear is a great game, is coming to platforms where people could actually enjoy it the way it was intended. Because on GameCube, it was
you had to have the Game Boy and
you had to have
adapters
a bunch of hardware, so it was a pain.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's supposed to be a remake, not a remaster.
A remake.
I honestly couldn't tell.
Okay. But yeah, then we have Octopath Traveler's now on PC, which means a lot more people are going to be able to play it, which is exciting. The Last Remnant. What is The Last Remnant? I can't remember what that is.
The what?
The Last Remnant.
Oh, that's another game that's being remastered for.
Yeah, it's another remaster, but I don't remember what it is. I don't
even PS4 game.
Yeah. And then Dragon Quest Builders 2.
So I don't know what exactly they're remastering. If it's going from PS4 to Switch, it's probably being demastered a bit. But,
Yeah. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming out. It's basically Minecraft with a heavy story element and less of the mining and build your own stuff type thing. Let's see. Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Switch, and it has a retro mode, and I'll probably play the entire thing in retro mode.
And alternate language track and some other extra side quest kind of stuff. So I'll be really interested to see if that content eventually ends up on the PS4 version of the game. At the very least, the Japanese language track.
Yeah. And Circuit Superstars, a cel-shaded racing game, looks nice. I'm not sure if I'll actually get it, but it's cute enough.
Last Remnant was Chaos said Last Remnant was originally on 360.
Okay, so it's.
Wait. No, what you're right. It was that generation. There was a remaster of Last Remnant that released on PS4 last year.
Okay, so this is that game getting
the remaster that was okay.
Okay, yeah, that all makes sense. Okay.
And that's right, Zachary.
Yeah. And then we've got Shooty McShooter 37 coming out, Outriders.
Right.
It's just another shooter game. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yep. And it's got a lady with glowy yellow eyes, which the trailer really liked. And she does look cool, but it didn't tell me much about the game.
Nope. Yeah, and then
summer 2020, by the way.
And then Kingdom Hearts 3 is already getting some DLC, which is okay.
But no voice acting? I wasn't clear on what I was watching there. It's like, what's going on here? Why is everything subtitled with no voice? Is that how the game works?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet. I still haven't finished Kingdom Hearts 2, so let's see.
Maybe the voice actors couldn't figure out what the hell they were saying and just gave up and left.
Maybe. Let's see. They had some stuff for Final Fantasy 14, which I'm still ticked off that that Square uses the main series numbering for their MMOs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I don't know exactly.
8 was remastered, right?
Final Fantasy 8, that was a little bit later, I think.
Oh, okay,
in this. Because that's a little bit later. But yeah, I don't exactly remember what they talked about with Final Fantasy 14. I think it's just some more DLC. Oh, I think there's like a new race and character class or something like that. I don't know. Dying Light 2 They showed a trailer for that. Looks like a zombie apocalypse parkour game.
Yeah, we talked about that a little.
Yeah, we talked about that one in the another show. Romancing Saga 3 is let's see. So we got Romancing Saga 3, Saga Scarlet Grace. So these are re-releases or remakes of some of previous
Super
games.
NES.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Although, I mean, it never came out in America, so far as I know. So
yeah, Brave Exvius, one of their mobile games, that's coming to other systems now, which I think the Switch. But yeah, I enjoyed Brave Exvius when I played it on my mobile on my phone. But I accidentally deleted my save file, so I gave up on it. I was just like, I had fun, but I was hitting a slow patch where I had to really grind in order to advance, and I was just like, yeah, I'm fine if I never play it again. Let's see here. Onaki looks interesting. I'm trying to remember what that one was. Or Oninaki, yeah.
Yeah. It's that one with the ghosts in it, right? Like people are trapped between worlds and you have to help them pass on or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a Tokyo RPG Factory game. I mean, they made... their last couple of games just have not been speaking to me. I Am Setsuna looked okay, but Lost Sphere just really didn't do it for me at all. And this one I'm not feeling either, so...
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm alone on that or if people think they're really great, but not speaking to me.
Yeah, and let's see, and then Final Fantasy VIII is finally getting a remaster on.
Now, was that
pretty much everything?
Was that the one that was missing last year when just about every Final Fantasy game?
Yeah, last year they brought Final Fantasy 7 and 9 to the Switch and like everything else, and everybody's like, "Where's Final Fantasy 8?" And now we're finally getting it. I think they're remastering it, so they're improving a lot of the graphics and everything. So it's going to look better because the of the 3 PlayStation Final Fantasies, that's the one that aged the hardest, and I can understand why they had to completely remaster that. But yeah, and then they revealed the Avengers game, and this is from what's the studio?
By reveal, we mean
Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, they didn't show any gameplay. And
crappy aesthetic because the game looks. I mean, the design is just. Oh God! I mean, I understand you couldn't use the likenesses from the MCU
the movies,
but man, just do something else because that.
Yeah, they
crap.
All of the characters' faces, all the Avengers' faces just look so bland and boring.
Yeah.
And it's like even the 3D models looked like they were phoning it in. It's like, you can tell when an actor is phoning it in for a show, a movie or a show or whatever. But man, these guys they were very wooden and not all that great to look at. I'm sorry. But there was a lot of great gag memes and stuff coming out. Like somebody slashed a picture of the Avengers from the game with
Avengers, where the hell is Hawkeye?
Yeah, that was something else I noted.
Someone shouted that from the audience. Where's Hawkeye?
But somebody slashed a picture of them with the scene from Spaceballs, where it's like, "You idiots! You captured their stunt doubles." I love that.
Because Avengers looks bad from a character design standpoint. Yeah, I agree. I don't,
it does.
Like
it looks bad. The
game might play great. We don't know because they didn't show any gameplay, but
yeah, we'll get to this in the Nintendo show. But the character models from from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 look a lot better than these guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's we saw a little bit of the story, but no gameplay, and it basically feels like the story from Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, just without Thanos and the Infinity Stones.
I was getting they made a like a Tarragon crystal energy reactor, and it just blows up and wipes out, I guess, a bunch of people, and so they disband the Avengers, and the evil rears its ugly head, probably because a bunch of people now are turning into Inhumans, and the Avengers have to get the gang back together. The thing that bothers me, and fine, the story great, whatever. The thing that bothers me is I was getting a real games as service, but not in a good way kind of vibe from the way they were describing it. Like what they released, like it's feeling very Fallout 76. Like we're gonna have kind of a bare bones release, and we'll no loot boxes, we swear, but we're gonna keep releasing content for years. It's like just make a game. I don't want to play it for years. I want to play it for a couple of weeks if it's particularly long, and then I will never play it again. That's just how I play games, though. I don't want to play a game for years.
Yeah, and the Avengers is a property that doesn't really lean its or doesn't really work with a perpetual game like Fortnite or something. You know, where
I mean, there's a story. It's got an ending. Tell that.
Yeah, and Addicted to Chaos says something that I completely agree with, is that never expected them to look like the MCU Avengers. You know, same for me. But it's like they could have at least made them look like the comics characters.
I really like that. You idiot! You captured their stunt doubles. That's
that is great.
Yeah, they just look wrong.
Yeah.
And which is surprising because Crystal Dynamics is a great developer and it has some great aesthetic choices in their Tomb Raider stuff. So not sure what happened here. But,
and did I not put? Or is this a Nintendo? Is I'm trying to.
What?
The Mana series, is that a Nintendo's?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm like, why isn't this in Squares? But I guess Nintendo wanted to hold on to that card. But yeah, their Captain America looks really bad. Yes, yeah, I think I think it's kind of a toss up for me between Captain America and Black Widow, because neither one of them look like they should be those characters. They look like my somebody's YouTube fan film characters. And it's like, they're the actors are the film the YouTube film directors friends, and
I mean, I wouldn't even go. I'd say it looks like the porno parody actors, but no, they usually do a better job.
Yeah. But neither Captain America nor Black Widow look that great. But yeah, the other ones I thought were okay. I thought that
fine except for her face. Well, yeah, that's kind of the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Banner could have been a little more lanky, but I thought his face was fine. Tony Stark's face was fine. He really needed less of a beard, but and then was that it?
More Viking Thor.
Yeah. Oh, and Thor was more Viking than Thor, and I'm not entirely sold on that.
It felt like they were trying to really do something different with.
Yeah.
Still didn't really look great, but at least they were. It seemed to be trying something different. Something noticeably different from the films. This just looks, especially Banner. It just looks like the cheap knockoff version of the. It's like we planned to get the license, but we couldn't, or the likeness, but we couldn't, and so
we had to change it a little bit.
We fudged everyone a little bit just to make them off model.
Oh well, but enough of that. Let's move on to Nintendo. We like Nintendo, don't we?
Yes, Nintendo. A two-grin performance from Nintendo.
They actually got a reaction from our Mr. No Reaction here. Yeah. So
two of them, two reactions.
Yeah. I enjoyed Nintendo's show this year.
It's like one of at least one of them wasn't even a video game. No, both of them were just skits. One was the Bowser
skit. Yeah,
I love that. The other one was the intro for Banjo-Kazooie and Smash Brothers. Yeah. I thought that little skit was funny too. So I went.
Yeah. The Bowser skit was that was great. I love Nintendo's humor.
I really love the fact that Bowser, Koopa Bowser, was embarrassed
and not mad,
and just really embarrassed rather than angry and huffy, which is kind of what you would expect. But he's like. Like, oh, I put on a tie and everything. I feel like such a fool.
Yeah.
I really liked that skit. I thought
it was. And somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who, but they were like, Nintendo they knew about the meme, they recognized the meme, they played off it. We're never going to see it again. They're never going to reference it again in anything. But I loved it.
It would be funny if Nintendo hires some cosplayer or model or someone to play Bowsette and just have her host the Nintendo Direct. People would lose their stuff.
Yeah, they would.
It'd be hilarious. They might get sued by the guy who actually designed the character, but and again, that's their IP in the first place. So I don't know how that would work.
Yeah,
who's Nessa? Is she the water gym Pokemon trainer person?
Maybe. I don't know. All right. So, So at the beginning of this show, the Direct starts up and they have a countdown to the start of the show. And as soon as it hit 1, the stream errored out for me. Oh, it ticked me off. So I had to refresh and everything. And it was great. It was annoying.
Actually, back to Nightmares, both Chaos and Nightmare in the chat are confirming that Ness is the water gym leader. And I like the design. I was thinking her costume seems a little weird. And then I thought, well, no, it's kind of a swimsuit and she's the water gym. So, okay, now, actually that makes sense. I take it back. She's fine.
Yeah. So the first big announcement was Dragon Quest Hero is coming to Smash. And it's like, almost every game is getting a skin in there. I guess they're not.
At least for the final Smash, I didn't frame the final Smash, but it looks like there's 8 because there's 4 different heroes. There's Dragon Quest 11, obviously.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 8,
4,
3 and 4. Okay.
And then you've got a couple more. I did notice the guy from 2 in the final Smash. But what was interesting is I went to Nintendo's website and the other alternate skins are just recolors for the original 4, so you don't get.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and and I guess is okay, but man, I'm still upset that we're not getting Taloon because he's what I wanted. He's who I wanted.
I mentioned this in my reaction video that the characters you remember from the Dragon Quest games are the companions, not the heroes, because the heroes are nameless blank slates. They're just
they're generic. They're generic hero guy, and
come to think of it, I think the Dragon Quest 3 heroes, the guy and the gal, because you can choose one or the other. I think they actually have canon names, if I'm remembering right. Maybe that's 4. I think it's 3, but
no, 3 is the actual story of Erdrick.
Right, but you can pick between 2, a male or female protagonist in 3.
Maybe.
Yes.
I can't remember.
And you can in 4 also, and one of those pairs actually have in-canon names, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, well, the ones in 4 I know do not. They're just the hero, and you name them whatever you want to name them.
Right.
3, I believe, has the in-canon names.
Yeah, but I do like the fact that they at least went for multiple heroes, because, the designs are recognizable even if the characters aren't.
Yeah.
If they're just...
They are very much...
again...
They are very much Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. When you look at them, you know that they're Dragon Quest. Like when you look at Ike and Mike and and Hot Tamale or whatever from the Fire Emblem games. You have no idea who they are if you never played those.
Dude with sword, dude with lance, dude with axe.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, that's something else I noted in Twitter was that Dragon Quest brings yet another sword guy to Smash Brothers.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's like we need somebody that's not a sword guy. But yeah. Let's see. Then we see. So, but I like it. It's a fighter everybody was expecting because somebody found some variables in the in a teardown of the Smash Brothers game info and found some variables that were very much this is going to be Dragon Quest. So yeah, let's see. And then we had a Dragon Quest 11 trailer, which is okay. It's coming.
It's they're making up for the visual downgrade with a lot of really cool extra content. So good on them.
Yeah, the variable name was Brave, as Nightmare Ninja points out, and everybody that had any knowledge of the Dragon Quest series is like, yeah, that has to do with Dragon Quest. So yeah, at this point is when they did the Bowser sketch, and which was a lot of fun. Thank you, Bowser, for doing that, and Bowser, you too. Let's see. Then we get Luigi's Mansion, and this is one of your predictions come true. Tell us about your prediction for Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. I predicted that there would be a multiplayer mode added to Luigi's Mansion 3, and there's a multiplayer mode in Luigi's Mansion 3. I forget what it's called, but it's
you get there's 2-player co-op, which you can play with the Gooigi, and then there's a 4-player thing that you can play with people online, or no, 8-player thing that you can play with people
cooperative
online.
Also, you're all working towards the same goal, but I think you do get points and such, but I forget what it's called, but it's a little it looks fine. I mean, in my prediction video, I think I joked that they're gonna crowbar some unnecessary multiplayer mode that
Scare Scraper is the online
Scare
mode.
Scraper is the online. Yeah, that's right. So there are different levels. I think there's like 5, 10, or random or infinity or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just they're randomly generated levels, and you have to wander around finding the hidden toads or all the ghosts or whatever, and you just try to make it to the top.
Yeah, and I also noted that they're adding some kind of slam move to Luigi's Mansion where you latch onto a ghost and you have to smash it around.
Ghosts in the vacuum, and you're trying to pull them in while they're trying to run away. You can just slam them into the ground like the Hulk slamming Loki. Whack, whack, whack. Yeah. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah,
it reminds me of the Ghostbusters game that came out a decade ago, because in that game you held the ghosts in the proton stream, but you also had to slam them into walls and stuff to tire them out so you could get them into traps.
Yeah. Well, and there's also a game on the PS3 called Folklore, and in that one, it's like you can pull the souls out of these creatures that you fight, and you latch onto them, and then you use the 6-axis controls to like smash them around as well, so that you can actually yank their souls out of their bodies. And it's a move I've seen before, and it's interesting. It's nice to see something come up in Luigi's Mansion like this. But
Ninja says the producer for Luigi Mansion says you can eat Gooigi. I don't recall him saying that, but that's pretty great. I love the ghost dog, though. The ghost dog is adorable.
Yeah.
You better be able to pet well, I guess it makes sense that you can't pet the ghost dog because it's not.
But you should at least be able to try.
Yeah.
But and then we've got a trailer for Dark Crystal strategy RPG,
which doesn't look very good.
It looks a lot like a mobile strategy RPG that you would be able to find.
Ogre Battle 64, it is not. I mean, I actually watched the Treehouse segment, and Wasn't doing it for me. It just doesn't. Now they admitted that it's fairly early and the UI isn't final, and so maybe it just looks rough because it is.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm excited that Dark Crystal is getting love these days because we're getting a Netflix series, and now we're getting an actual video game based on the Dark Crystal world, and
is a Dark Crystal household. I love Labyrinth, but my household is Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in the household. I think my sister prefers Labyrinth. But
I like them both, but Jim Henson, those Jim Henson movies, just they're great. I love them, and I'm excited to see more. And the Netflix series, they're doing the puppetry again. They're not relying on CGI and everything, so it looks good. I like it, and I'm excited for it.
But
yeah, the game doesn't look as good, but I'm gonna get it because the more Dark Crystal stuff we get, the better, and I'm gonna get it. Even if it turns out to be a mediocre or sub mediocre strategy RPG, I'll still enjoy it because I like it.
I don't want to be too down on it. Even during the Treehouse, as I pointed out, the developers were like, "This is early. We don't have even the correct UI in here yet." So, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was like some really good dubbing or if the Henson Company like gave them the puppet to actually film the commercial.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Be cool if they did.
They did, then kind of nice job using existing footage for your commercials, so that it works pretty darn well.
Yeah, and so and then we had the trailer for Link's Awakening, the remake that's coming to the Switch, and I'm excited for it. I like the art style, and Link's Awakening is one of my top favorite Zelda games.
Still need to play it.
Yeah,
I need to play it.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
I really like the art style. I love where he caught the fish and turned to the camera and went. I was like, oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah. And they didn't show it, but they showed the start of it. But like Link went and grabbed the bow from the shop and started walking behind the merchant. And I'm like, you better be able to steal from the merchant and end up going through the rest of the game being called thief by everybody. If you don't, this remake will be will be a fail from day one.
Feel bad. Yeah. I like the fact that there's like I don't know if it's Kakariko Village or wherever it is, but someone's got a chain chomp in the front yard. And that's the main village. Yeah, there's a chain chomp in there, and you actually get it as a buddy later on in the game. Yeah, you have to rescue it, and if you don't take it back to the owner, you can just take it around with you everywhere you go in the game, and it eats monsters as you're going around, and the game glitches out. Like you're only supposed to have one companion at a time, and if you have the chain chomp when you have other characters following you around, they'll combine into one glitched up sprite with the functionality of the new the new companion character, and it's hilarious. I love it. Nice. Someone showed that you can steal from the merchant. Sweet. But you got to be called thief the rest of the game. Though. Yes,
that's the important part.
I have the DX version of the game. It was released on the 3DS Virtual Console. So that's
that's the Game Boy Color version.
Yeah.
And that one's basically the same game. It just adds one new dungeon, which has some color-based puzzles, and then at the end you have your choice between a choice between two prizes. One of them is basically in the game, there's a power-up that you can get that makes your sword super powerful, and when you hit an enemy, they fly backwards to the opposite end of the screen and explode. You basically get that permanently, and the other one is there's another power-up which doubles your health or doubles your defense, and the other prizes you get that permanently. So it just kind of depends on what whether you want to do more damage or take less damage, and that's the reward for beating the color dungeon. And I think they improved, or they also added support for the
create
camera.
your own dungeon kind of thing.
Well, I'm still talking about DX, the DX version, but in that one they also added support for the Game Boy printer, where you could actually print pictures and stuff, which was interesting. Because you got a camera in the game and you could snap pictures at certain locations, and it was interesting. But yeah, in the Switch remake, they're adding a dungeon builder mode, which I think is kind of neat.
I don't know. When my reaction to the trailer was, I don't get it. You build your own dungeon and then play your own dungeon? I mean, is there?
I think you can share it. I think it's going to be you can. From what I understand, you can make the dungeons and then you can upload them and other people can play them. So it's going to be kind of like Mario Maker.
Yeah, I don't know, but during the treehouse, it became clear that actually building the dungeon is kind of a puzzle in and of itself. So there are certain restrictions. You have a finite tile set. It's not just build your own dungeon willy-nilly. You can't make whatever you want. You have to make it and make it work within certain parameters. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So it's
that works too. And Nightmare Ninja says that we want a full version of that. Yeah, people do want a full Game Boy or a Zelda Dungeon Maker. Yeah, a Zelda Maker. So yeah.
Oh, and it's got an amiibo trick. So if you use the Zelda series amiibo, it will unlock effects for the rooms. So kind of like the moon in Super Mario Maker, where it will like reverse gravity in one type of level, and it will do the spotlight thing in the ghost house. Yeah, apparently the amiibo will do additional effects on the room types too. So again, that's not enough to turn me off the game, but I still hate that crap. Although the amiibo is utterly adorable because the art style is utterly adorable.
And
Nintendo, I really like it.
Yeah. And then, now we're at the Trials of Mana and Collection of Mana that's coming out. The Collection of Mana is out now, and then Trials of Mana is a remake of the third Mana game or fourth Mana game. I forget
the third one.
The third one? Okay. So yeah, that's cool news.
Right. So it's called Trials of Mana, but it's Seiken Densetsu 3.
Yeah.
Which was never released here.
Yeah, it was never released in the U.S. But the Collection of Mana has a English version of the original game, I believe.
Yeah, right? It's a localized version of Seiken Densetsu 3, which we never got. So that's pretty good. So it's the first one, which was localized for us. It was Final Fantasy.
The first one was Final Fantasy Adventure.
Final Fantasy Adventure, right.
Yeah.
And then Secret of Mana, which everybody knows. And then this new one they decided to call Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
And then later, in early 2020, sometime, there's going to be a full 3D remake of
Trials of
Mana.
Yeah, and this is going to be a lot better. Like, they did a remake of Secret of Mana, and that just looked terrible. It was...
according to Chaos, Collection of Mana is getting a physical release in August. I don't recall hearing that, so thanks.
Oh, well, cool. Well, it's available digitally now, I think.
It's available digitally now, according to Chaos. It's got a physical release in a couple months.
It's up to 3 players.
$40. What do you think? Reasonable?
$40?
I think it's okay. I mean, 3 lengthy, good RPGs, one of which is not a port. It's actually a new localization. Yeah. So I think $40.
I guess, that's reasonable, I think.
I'd go cheaper, but, I don't feel... I have a problem with Crypt of the Necro... I'm sorry, Cadence of Hyrule's price, but I felt that Collection of Hyrule... Oh, my God.
Collection of Mana
is actually... It's a reasonable price. price.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of. I really liked Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy. It's one of my top Game Boy games ever.
I only ever played Secret of Mana.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Adventure plays it's basically like Zelda, playing a Zelda game, one of the 2D ones, because you only play one character, but you get multiple weapons, and you have to figure out monsters' weaknesses, because some monsters are strong against some weapons and weak against other ones, and then you get companion characters who barely help out, if they help out at any. But yeah, it's a fun game. I like it. It's one of my top favorite Game Boy games ever. Secret of Mana, I played that one, and I really liked it as well. I've never played it 3-player. I did play it a little bit 2-player back when I was a kid, but it's up to 3 players now. So if I got this one, me and 2 of my kids could play it together.
Yeah, I only played single player.
Yeah, but Trials of Mana is 1 or 2 players. You can't get 3 players on that one, unfortunately.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Not entirely sure if that's a gameplay restriction or not, because there's 3 players or 3 characters on screen in this one screenshot I'm looking at. So
yeah, there's 6 in total. I don't know if it's like you have 6 in the party eventually, you recruit them all.
No, there are 6 main characters, and then you recruit up to 2 other characters to join you, but not necessarily from that initial 6.
So you're going to miss out on half the cast on your first playthrough.
Yeah. So, but each character apparently has its own strengths and weaknesses. So, they're all going to play differently. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I really like Final Fantasy Adventure and Secret of Mana, so I'm looking forward to getting that one.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully as you said, I hope the 3D remake of Trials turns out better than the remaster or whatever they did of
the remake of Secret of Mana. Yeah. So yeah, and then they showed a trailer for The Witcher 3, which is coming to the Switch.
Yay! It looks pretty rough, but yeah. But
and then
it's not portable, so.
Yeah, and then their Fire Emblem 3 Houses trailer, which told you nothing about the game.
Fire Emblem is, that trailer's not going to help you.
No, it's not
at all. Is this one of them animes? Is that an anime show?
The only Fire Emblem game I've played is the mobile one, and I played that for like a few hours, for a little while. I beat all the story content that was available, and I said, okay, I've had enough. Because I managed to get a full party of 5-star characters just from the free gems or whatever I got from just playing the game, and so I was able to breeze through the story content pretty quickly. And I tried some of the other stuff, like the trial modes and whatever, and I was like, I don't care enough to play through all this stuff. But yeah, so a new Fire Emblem game is coming to the Switch. Okay.
It looks like a good Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
Looks like it might be adopting a bit of the Persona kind of play around in the characters with the school, live your life kind of thing, and then do the Fire Emblem stuff, emblemy stuff. I don't know. I was kind of getting that from the Treehouse demo, because there's a lot of faffing about in the school. So it'd be interesting to see how the be interested to see how the
Addicted to Chaos says that apparently the full Witcher 3 game is going to be on the cartridge. There's not going to be a download required. Yeah,
someone asked CD Projekt Red about that, and they said, or someone else said, because we didn't cheap out on the cart. we bought a big cart to put it on. So hopefully they sell it for $80 or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Matthews agrees with me. He says, it's Fire Emblem cross Persona, basically. I'm getting that from the Treehouse walkthrough demo presentation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
All right,
and then we got the Resident Evil sketch. And what Resident Evil games are those? I didn't catch
5 and 6, I think.
5 and 6? Okay.
Yeah, because 0, 1, and not 2 or 3 or 4. 4. I think 4. I think 0, 1, and 4 were ported to the Switch at some point, and so now we're getting 5 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the 2 bad ones.
The 2 bad ones. Yeah.
You know, 5 is fine. It's not great. It's like cold pizza from a pizza place that you don't buy pizza from because it's not that good, but you know, it's still pizza. You're gonna eat it. 6 is bad. 5 is playable. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
But the sketch was interesting. We talked about that earlier in the show, but yeah, it's like, how do we show Resident Evil without showing all the gooey Resident Evil bits?
We'll show people playing Resident Evil and having fun. So
yeah.
Chris just push a rock, Nightmare Ninja. Chris punches a boulder. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Whoa, is that a spoiler?
No, that game came out a while ago.
Yeah. Okay, and so after that fun little sketch, we got a cinematic trailer for the new No More Heroes game. Yeah, so no gameplay footage at all.
But at least there were some elements of the trailer that show you what the gameplay does. You know, fighting dudes with your little laser sword and doing wrestling suplex moves on them. Yeah. So there was that, and it gives you a tone. I'm a little more lenient of no gameplay trailers for, you know, existing IP that you know what the gameplay's like.
Yeah.
But still would have liked to, you know, see some gameplay. But
well, it's better than what we got when the game was announced. It was Suda 51 is making a new game, and that was it. And we were like, okay.
Yep.
Is it a No More Heroes game?
Not going to see this for a while. Hope I don't need to play Travis Strikes Again, because that game just looks honestly bad.
Yeah.
It just looks bad. But this, I'm fingers crossed, because I like No More Heroes, and hopefully this is some real No More Heroes.
Yeah. Okay, next is probably the biggest letdown of the show, Contra Rogue Core. That just does not look like a Contra game. No,
it doesn't. And having seen a bit more of it now, it really doesn't. It's a twin stick shooter.
Yeah.
Which is not Contra to me.
No, it's not. And apparently your guns can overheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to, so you can't just spam bullets like you would in a Contra game. You have to actually manage your gun and not overdo the shooting. And it's just like, no, this isn't a Contra game. But we are getting the Contra collection on the Switch, so that kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, and also looks really, I mean, visually just looks bad.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the design. Like, I like Panda Dude, and I like Alien Dude, and I like Krang woman with Krang in her stomach.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, but it just looks so ugly. And I've seen some footage of it now, and it does not look good at all. It doesn't look fun to play either. It doesn't look like Contra. It doesn't feel like Contra.
Yeah, exactly. This is like I think this is the Contra version of the Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Well, I mean, Federation Force was a competent game in its own right. It just wasn't something anyone wanted.
Yeah. But I
don't know if Konami was like just
they farmed it out. It's Konami and name only. But yeah,
well, it comes out this year, so at least we don't have to wait until March 2020 or whatever.
Yeah, this September is when it comes out. Another terrible birthday present. I'm sorry. But yeah, we get the Contra collection. They showed another trailer for Daemon X Machina, and the trailer looks good. I like the trailer, but according to you playing the demo, it doesn't play all that great.
Yeah, they had some. They had two treehouse segments for this game, and I like the look of the game. I like this bold yellow and red aesthetic that they're going for. I think it's striking and attractive, but the game just doesn't play well, and it's kind of hard to tell from other people playing the game. The dude who was demoing the game just seemed to be really good at it. And it's one of those games that's kind of hard to watch because you don't know what you're supposed to be looking at because there's a bunch of HUD elements and all kinds of crap moving around the screen. So it'll be interesting to see how reviews react to this one. It's got a lot of elements that I like, but the gameplay just did not play well for me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's vastly improved over the demo from last February or whenever it was. But,
hopefully, yeah, because the game looks good. It looks very interesting, but yeah, if it doesn't play very well, I would be very disappointed. So, but let's see. Next was a Panzer Dragoon remaster, or remake, or sequel, or something.
Yeah,
I've never played Panzer
remake
Dragoon
apparently, but I never thought Panzer Dragoon was that great. I mean, it was
I've never played it
because it was one of the first games that really did a 3D thing. Although I think you were locked most of the time to like the camera rotated in like 90-degree increments, and it was pretty corridor based. It wasn't big on open world. But yeah, I know a lot of people are huge fans of it, but I never thought it was that great. I never thought it was bad or anything, but I just always felt it was kind of dull.
Yeah.
But for fans, hey, remake of the first one, so yay. And it comes out. I don't know. Do they?
I don't think they.
Winter, I guess.
Winter, okay.
Yeah.
Next up was the Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer, and that was they had a whole Nintendo Direct for that, so we can.
I made a Pikaiju joke on Twitter, and then I thought, well, that's pretty obvious. Someone had to mention it, so I searched Twitter for Pikaiju, and like 1 million people had made that joke. I'm like, okay, yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really feeling. I don't care for Pokemon anyway. But one thing that I noticed during the Treehouse segments for Sword and Shield is doesn't really look that great in playing because there's a lot of. I don't know if it's intentional, but there's a lot of surprising pop in. I was really genuinely surprised by the amount of pop in. And I guess they're not supposed to show every Pokemon wandering the map at once, but it's weird to just have Machoke just pop in 10 feet away. And it's like, the hell? I don't know. I found it distracting.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got a really big trailer for Astral Chain, and
I didn't think this trailer was as good as the first one that we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know, earlier this year during one of the directs. I liked that trailer better. This one was just a bit too frantically edited for me to follow what was going on. But this is another one that had some 2 Treehouse segments. And this game looks really good.
It does.
Let me explain to you, Zachary, and you folks watching why this is the game of the show, inarguably. Okay, are you ready for this? Astral Chain features a secret toilet hidden in every level. Game of the show. I'm sorry, you can't beat that. There's a secret toilet, a secret porta potty hidden in every level, and if you find it and you go in and use the porta potty, you get an item. It's great. There's a secret porta potty.
That is awesome.
Is that there are hidden cats in the game. You better be able to pet them, but even if you can't, there are cats in the game, and that's instantly
nice.
So I'm really digging the game. It's what's interesting is someone described it as kind of the midway point between Bayonetta and Nier Automata, and in the sense that I think I know what they're saying is Bayonetta is just just a brawler. You are constantly brawling with angels and demons and such. Nier Automata is a beat 'em up too, but a lot of the times you're running around an open world and doing quests and talking to people and blowing yourself up so that you can run around in a thong. Astral Chain seems to be a little bit more focused on actual combat, but not quite as we're only doing combat like Bayonetta does. There's a city you wander around in, and you do side missions and investigations, and then there's combat, and there's cats and hidden toilets. So it looks really, really good. I'm really excited for Astral Chain, and I think it comes out this year. Does it not? Let me look at the list here. Where is it? Where's Astral Chain? Why is it not in my list? What is going on with my... Hold on. Oh my God, this thing. Have you ever like been on a web page and you like search for something and then it like says, "Oh, you meant go back 3 pages." You're like, "What? There isn't even a keyboard shortcut for that. What could I have possibly..." Thank you, August. What could I have possibly touched that would make you do that? Oh, so irritating. Anyway, yeah. So August 30th. So not too far away. That I'm really looking forward to, and it feels really great to have a Switch game. I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
So yay.
Oh, okay.
We're almost done.
Hang in there, Zachary. Yeah, I might pass out. I don't know. Okay, next up was Empire of Sin, and I have no idea what this game is.
I think I heard someone say that was her game, but I saw the
yeah, it's a Romero game.
Yeah, I went, okay, and then I heard Brenda Romero. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah, it's
maybe John Romero has something to do with it too, but I don't know.
I think it's Brenda Romero is the main person behind this, but yeah, it's just a 1930s noir style crime drama game thingy. But okay, not a whole lot to go off of on the trailer, but you know, art wise it looked good, but other than that, nothing else to say.
Next.
All right. Next up was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and it has Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it does. It has. I think aesthetically, it looks a lot better than Crystal Dynamics Avengers game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That said, I don't think it looks really that fun. I saw the 2 Treehouse segments. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it looks like maybe fun for 5 minutes, and then it looks really repetitive.
It looks like it's your basic Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. If you like the first 2, you'll probably like this one.
They didn't speak to me then either, so.
Yeah, but let's see. So after that was Cadence of Hyrule, which was the surprise announcement last year, or whenever they announced that.
I think it was during a direct earlier this year.
Yeah. But it was earlier this year. They announced Cadence of Hyrule, and just was kind of surprised that Nintendo handed out their IP to an indie developer like that. But yeah, it's totally cool.
But, it looks really cool. I feel it's overpriced. It's $25 on the eShop.
Oh wow!
The original Crypt of the Necrodancer was $15. So it's like, is the game significantly larger, or is that just the cost of the IP?
It's probably an IP cost. I don't know.
I also thought it was kind of weird that Cadence of Hyrule came out, I think, on Thursday, which was kind of weird because if it's coming out Thursday, it's like, why not do the thing where it's like, and it's available right now, and it's available in 2 days. Like, it doesn't quite have the same impact, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, it looks good. I think I would like to get it. So yeah.
If you're not sure about Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer is currently on sale for $3 on Steam, and actually it's on sale on the eShop too for $4. Because on the eShop the game isn't $15; it's $20. Because Nintendo's just got to be Nintendo.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the portable. It's the portable privilege, you see.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, Matthew says because eShop updates on Thursdays, and there's just no technological way to get around that. I mean, it's fine. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. All right. Next up was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. They have roller skating now, or skateboarding or something like that,
and surfing, and
they added a bunch of non-Olympic sports, basically.
Yeah,
all the Olympic climbing. Sports and some stuff that's not Olympic sports. So yeah, I'm not interested in it.
No, neither am I. But I like the fact that they're adding, not just kind of track and field type events.
Yeah.
Stuff that's not even in the Olympics. Like I said, like surfing, I don't think is an Olympic sport. I don't think rock climbing is either.
Yeah.
But some of it's kind of funny seeing some of these characters do some of the things. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's not for me, but it looks like they're at least trying to make an interesting, fun game. So
yeah. And then we had Animal Crossing reveal with the news that it's being delayed till March, which saddened a lot of people. But I'm of the opinion it's better to delay a game. Yeah, but it's better to delay a game than to kill your developers trying to.
Yeah, Nintendo went on record saying, because we don't want to work our crew to death. Essentially, they don't want to do the crunch thing, and that's great. I'd like to hear what the actual devs have to say rather than the company. But Nintendo has a really nice track record with this kind of stuff. I mean, the obvious go-to example is Iwata, I think, twice taking a pay cut, and some other upper management taking a pay cut when they weren't pulling in the money investors thought they should, rather than getting a raise and laying people off. So there's a good chance that that's actually true. I hate that log rolling effect that they've been doing since I think the second Animal Crossing game. I don't know why they do it. I utterly hate it. But then again, I don't play the game, so it doesn't matter. For anyone who's not aware, imagine a cylinder, and the game's map is on the cylinder, and the camera's pointed at the cylinder, and the cylinder rolls. So, things come up over the horizon like that. Yeah. You walk around the map. I hate that. I guess they do that so you can actually see the sky in case they ever have fireworks. But the first Animal Crossing had a big river flowing through every town, so you could see fireworks in the reflection in the river. Is actually a pretty clever solution. I just hate that rolling log effect. I really do. But then again, I don't play the game, so it doesn't matter.
All right. And
Mr. Resetti's not in it because there's an internal clock. Or, I'm sorry, not an internal clock. There's auto-saving, so Mr. Resetti's out of job.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So, let's see. And then we had the trailer montage. I didn't make any notes about what was in the trailer montage, but lots of games.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff that's, let's see, Spyro the Dragon Trilogy, Ni no Kuni, which is funny because the other consoles, at least PS4, is getting Ni no Kuni remastered. The Switch is just getting plain Jane Ni no Kuni, which it probably couldn't do remastered anyway. So whatever. Minecraft Dungeons, Sinking City, Alien Isolation, and New Super Lucky's Tale, which was a VR game for the Xbox One X, I think. So this is a new platformer based on Lucky, and it looks cute. Looks fine. I don't. There's also Dead by Daylight and Dauntless. which is a Monster Hunter ripoff. Which was funny because I watched Dauntless in the Treehouse, and nobody like asked them. It's like, so obviously this is very similar to Capcom's Monster Hunter game. So what differentiates your game from Monster Hunter? Why would someone want to play your game? You know, a softball like that? No, they just kind of pretended that that Monster Hunter didn't exist, even though this game is other than the aesthetic choice. The Dauntless is much more cartoony. It is exactly Monster Hunter. Like, the only differences are the aesthetic look, and in Monster Hunter you cart 3 times and quest is over. In Dauntless I think you can cart as much. Well, you don't actually cart. You can get knocked out as much as you want until someone loses faith in you, and then you don't get to, and then it's your last life. So you get more lives. The barrier of entry in Dauntless is a lot lower. Oh, another thing that pointed out is the shadows pop in like 10 feet away on the Switch version of Dauntless. It is really distracting. Like, you have a tree, and you have the shadow of the tree, and if the person's standing here, you see this much of the shadow, but the shadow isn't drawn between the shadow and the tree because it can't draw shadows very far. And I'm like, oh my God, just turn off the shadows or literally paint them onto the ground. That is so distracting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But so after the trailer montage, we got the next Smash Brothers character reveal, and this one was actually really funny. I liked it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We had Donkey Kong, Kiddy Kong, and King K. Rool all hanging out in Donkey Kong's house. Why they're hanging out with King K. Rool, I have no idea, but he's there anyways. And they hear some commotion from outside, and they all cram up to the window and look out, and they see Banjo-Kazooie's shadow on the horizon, and then the light shines directly on, and it's Duck Hunt Dog. And it was hilarious. I laughed at that. I enjoyed that.
Even I grinned slightly. Yeah, it was great. And then, of course,
and then Banjo-Kazooie actually showed up.
Banjo-Kazooie. What a wonderful new design for Banjo and Kazooie. I really like it. It is so much better than that really ugly-ass boxy design they used in Nuts and Bolts a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really this is a really nice looking design.
It is, and it's nice to see.
It would be a shame to let it go to waste and not use it in a new Banjo-Kazooie game.
Yeah, Rare, get right at it. Yeah. But yeah, I was excited, and then apparently there's still two. Yeah, but apparently there's still 2 DLC characters left to be revealed.
Yeah, so Joker, Dragon Quest Hero, and Banjo-Kazooie. So there's 2 more.
2 more. Yeah, I lost count and I had to look it up. But yeah, 2 more because Piranha Plant doesn't count towards these 5.
That's just an extra character.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nice to see a Rare character get some love, and especially one that isn't owned by Nintendo, because Donkey Kong is owned by Nintendo.
Yeah, so guesses for the last 2.
Yeah, I was asked. I responded to somebody on Twitter, and it's like, my wishes
Travis
are.
Touchdown?
Huh?
Travis Touchdown for No More Heroes 3?
Yeah, possibly. Let me look at what I put in there. Dream characters. My dream characters. If I could pick any 2 characters, I would go Gino one and Birdo being the other one.
Birdo, okay.
Yeah, Birdo would be fun. I think Birdo would be great. But then I said likely characters. I put Sora from Kingdom Hearts and some other sword guy from some other sword
Sora
game.
from Kingdom Hearts. I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see Sora showing up. But Sora would be yet another sword guy, basically. And
well, Keyblade, yeah. Point taken.
But in general, I really have no idea what characters they would actually go for, and but I do think Birdo would be a fun addition, just something totally unexpected, and just it draws from Nintendo's vast array of characters. So
Chaos's Vice from Skies of Arcadia, another dude with a sword, but sure.
Oh, Try2 says Disney would probably veto Sora being in Smash. Possibly. Matthew says Master Chief. Well, that was one of my parody. When they brought Cloud into Smash, I threw up a parody article on one of my sites, and I said, Nintendo announces 3 new characters coming to Smash. Nathan Drake, Master Chief, and Pong Paddle.
Pong Paddle. Actually, I think Pong Paddle is a assist trophy.
Yeah.
I think, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
According to Nightmare Ninja, there's some leaks about a Banjo game, which I had not heard about.
I have not heard about that. No.
So even if it's not Switch, I liked Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie 2, Banjo-Tooie is what it was called.
Yeah.
I think Rare got a little, not a bad game. It was fun, but Rare got carried away with that one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, folks, rein that in a little bit. You're getting obnoxious. And then they did Donkey Kong 64 and was like, oh my God, gee. Dudes.
For Smash Brothers, they should just go completely obscure with these last 2 characters, just like totally off the wall. It's like
Q*bert.
When you picked that guy, yeah, Q*bert, yeah. But I'm thinking Bayou Billy.
Okay.
From the Adventures of Bayou Billy. I love that.
That's one of my favorite Ninja Gaiden, but the actual 8-bit sprite version.
Yeah, the ninja from Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, that would be fun. Let's see what other.
Staring at your game, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to get some inspiration from my game library over there. I don't have as extensive.
Cosmic Kiryu from Yakuza.
The writer
from Excitebike. Okay, sure.
There we go.
All right, let's get on with the.
Okay.
Through this because we're.
Let's see. Well, after that was the reveal that they're making a sequel, a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, my prediction was wrong. I had predicted new Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC, but no, Breath of the Wild 2 essentially.
So this is, from what I understand, the 3rd direct sequel that they've made.
Majora's Mask being one.
Okay, so then that makes 4. So Zelda 2, Majora's Mask, Link Between Worlds, and then this one.
Wait, is Link Between Worlds a remake or is it a?
No, it's a sequel to Link to the Past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Ninja says hopes for Zelda playable. Yeah, it looks like it maybe a cooperative adventure, or maybe Link gets kidnapped and Zelda has to go after him, or you can choose your own, or there's 2 quests. Who knows?
Yeah. But this is so the 4th direct sequel.
But it'll be interesting because this game might come out sooner than we think. It might come out like holiday 2020. I mean, Majora's Mask. I mean, if it's built on the Breath of the Wild engine and it's fairly similar to Breath of the Wild, I could see it coming within 3 years because Majora's Mask came out like 2 years after Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
So,
and it doesn't make sense for them to rewrite.
Playable non-triple Ganondorf.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense for them to change up the engine. They've got a solid working engine, and just
unless because I imagine mechanically the game would be very similar.
Yeah.
So you would probably use the same engine if that's the case. And I agree with Matthew, late next year at the earliest. Probably to compete with Xbox 2 and PlayStation 5 or whatever those consoles are called. probably PlayStation 5, but who knows what Xbox is going to be end up.
Yeah, and Matthew says the trailer's winking and nodding at dungeons. So.
Cat says, unlikely. Best case scenario, Zelda will accompany you for a chunk of the game. Yeah. Hopefully she won't be like Resident Evil 4 Ashley, where she's Leon!
Yeah.
Actually, I
the girl from
very well. And
the girl from Eco.
The girl. Oh, yeah. Holiday 2020 releases Chaos. Yeah, I think that's
reasonable. Yeah. So that's Nintendo. That's the end of the E3 presentations. So.
Yep. So who won E3? It's Nintendo, but go ahead and who won E3?
Sony, because just from the sheer fact that
the only way to win is to not play. Sony's not working.
Yeah. They had absolutely nothing to show, so they saved us all a 30 to 60 minute boredom fest. So yeah, Sony won.
And they saved an additional 50 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah.
But I am kind of sad because I really want to learn more about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah. But of the actual presentations that were there, I think Nintendo pulled off a really good show. Had some really good games there. They managed to steal at least one title from another developer who actually had a show, the Collection of Mana and Trials of Mana. Square could have easily have revealed that during their show, but Nintendo managed to wrestle that away from them. So that was a nice surprise.
I also have to say that Nintendo handled the Treehouse presentations very well this year. They didn't. They had like 3 games that they had 2 segments of. I think they had 2 Luigi's Mansions, 2 Super Mario Maker, 2 Daemon X Machina for some reason. But they didn't do like 3 segments of the same game every single day like they've done in years past.
Yeah.
They had a nice variety of games, and on the last day they did all indie games, which was nice. Devoting a day to indie games. I do wish they would. The people that they have demoing the games, the Treehouse crew, I wish they had the leverage to not be Nintendo shills. I know they work for Nintendo, it's their job, but
yeah,
like you are so faux enthusiastic about everything and you love everything so much and everything is your favorite. It just comes off as disingenuous. And I don't know exactly how Nintendo gets around that, but because you don't want them to be too honest. It's like, well, this actually kind of looks like crap, so is that going to improve any? They have to paint a rosy picture on everything, even if it doesn't look good, or if the developer's doing some mechanic that's like, why are you doing it that way? But it is a chance to actually, most of the segments are 20-25 minutes, and that's usually a pretty good chance to watch someone sit down and demo the game and give you a good sense of exactly how it plays. So that's nice. Game of E3, asks Matthew. I kind of want to say Carrion, because it's the game that was, 1, completely new to me, and 2, made me go, whoa, I really want to try that. Of like all the games at E3, if I could play any one right now, it'd probably be Carrion. I just want to play it for just to try it.
I agree with you there. Other than that, Astral Chain just really caught my attention this year more than it did last year.
Astral Chain and the Secret Toilets.
Yeah, but yeah, Astral Chain was revealed last year, and but this year it just really caught my attention more than it did before, and I had completely forgot about Astral Chain until this year, and so
we first learned about it in like February or something,
or something like that. Yeah, whenever we learned about it, but it really caught my attention. I really want to play it now.
Yeah. You pick up litter and throw it away in the proper receptacle.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the Collection of Mana is another one that I think is a really really solid release, and one that I am definitely wanting to get. But yeah, other than that, were mostly just games that I already knew about. Maneater, the Terraria content. I can't think of anything off of Microsoft or Bethesda that just really said, I want to play this now.
If Astral Chain had not been announced in a direct earlier this year, and they had used the trailer they used to announce it in the direct earlier this year instead of the one they actually used during the presentation, I would probably name that for my game of E3. But since I already knew about it and I didn't think the second trailer was as good, I think I'll go with the Carry On.
Okay.
Nightmare Ninja also points out something that I agree with. The Nintendo digital presentation, all the trailers, the ones that were going to have a Treehouse demo, had a little note on the side that says "See more during Nintendo Treehouse" or something like that. Which
that was
cool.
nice.
I agree that was pretty cool, especially when it was trailers that didn't show you anything from the game. Like see more at Nintendo Treehouse. I was like, oh, okay, we'll get to see a little bit more. We'll get to see this expanded on later. So so that was a good touch, I thought.
Yeah.
So overall, not a bad E3.
Yeah, it was a pretty good E3, I thought.
Little low key, but nothing terribly obnoxious or horrible.
Yeah, we only got one real.
Like just a bad showing.
Yeah,
they were all fine. Nintendo obviously won.
Yeah, it's definitely not a hardware year. Despite the fact that Microsoft felt the need to reveal the project's Scarlet. Yeah, I wanted to say Scorpio, but I was like, no, that's not Scorpio. But Project Scarlet, they felt the need to reveal that without any concrete information about what it is, and not even a fake box up on stage with it. But yeah. But outside of these presentations, there was very little news that really caught my attention. But other than Nintendo walked back their online play in Mario Maker 2.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry, and I said in the chat that I would.
Yeah, but yeah, they so last week they announced online play for Mario Maker 2, where you could play locally with your friends, but if you wanted to play online, you got matched with random people. This year they said, oh no, this week they said, oh no, you can play with friends online. We'll make sure that happens.
In an after launch patch.
Yeah, in an after launch patch. So they realized how stupid that was, and they're going to be fixing that.
As Ninja says, they listen to the fans.
Yeah,
and that's good, but I'm just not giving you a cookie for doing the correct thing
after
that you should have done in the first place. You shouldn't need me to tell you to do that.
Yeah.
And you need us to tell you to do that.
And the other big news item that came out of E3 that wasn't in this was Konami is releasing a TurboGrafx 16 Mini.
I did not hear that.
You did not see that?
I did not hear that. How many games?
They didn't announce the full roster of games, like how many games are going to be on it. But they did give us 6 titles: R-Type, East Books 1 and 2, New Adventure Island, Ninja Spirit, Alien Crush, and Dungeon Explorer.
And solid games, though.
Yeah, the Japanese version, which is actually going to be called the PC Engine, as well as for Europe. They're going to get Bonk's Adventure, Dracula X, the Kung Fu China Warrior, East 1 and 2, Super Star Soldier, and Dungeon Explorer. But they have not told us how many games are going to be on there, and they have not given us a release date yet. And no price either. You're only going to get one controller because the original system only had one controller, but they are going to sell separately a multi-tap that's shaped like the multi-tap that was available for the original TurboGrafx, and additional controllers are going to be for sale. So Yeah, it's a very surprising announcement. I have no idea what games are even for the Turbo Graphics. So yeah, I probably won't be doing a games that should be on this type thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not my area either.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought, that was a surprise announcement this year, or this at E3. Yeah, that was really it for stuff that caught my attention.
Okay, yeah, that's I've been house sitting all week, so I'm amazed I got as much E3 stuff watched, and I did 3 videos this week too. They weren't scripted or highly produced videos; they were just reaction videos. But I'm amazed I got anything done this week, because oh my god, I've just been all over the place. But I think that's it. That's 3.5 hours, so that's enough. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings and had a good E3, and that there's lots of games coming out that you want to play maybe this year. I know most of them are probably next year, but hopefully there's a few this year you want to play. Chaos says, I like that Konami is starting to remember that games are a thing.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Contra Rogue Core looks kind of crap, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to go to the bathroom.
I do too. And then I have to go to bed. And it's starting to rain and hail, apparently.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a window right there with the flag hanging over it?
Yeah, it's a window. I have the flag up there because I don't have curtains, and the sun shines directly in my face around 9 o'clock in the morning because I sit here for work.
Yeah. So that moving, is the window open, or is it just the air?
No, I've got a fan blowing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a little fan running over there too, because it is hot. You can tell by my ears going bright red. Also sweat. Anyway, all right, let's close up. Andrew Eisen here. Eisen is how you spell the last name. Plug it into YouTube, and you can find my YouTube videos where I did some E3 predictions and games of E3 I'm looking forward to, in a Nintendo reaction video. And follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Easy Night, where I talk about gaming and politics and other pop culture stuff. And if you're interested in my game development work, you can check out DK_gaming on Twitter and ByNightGaming.com. And if you care about what's going on in the Oklahoma game development scene, check out OK Game Devs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you for watching the super extra special lengthy episode of Molehill Mountain. And we will see you back here next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.